Our thanks to sponsors and partners without whom this event would not be possible. Funding partner, Sport England. Official partner, Speedo. Official supplier, IHG. Supporting partners, Sport Systems, Sheffield City Council and Ponds Forge International Sports Centre. Your referees for this morning's session are Craig Hunter and Gillian Smith. Your starters for this morning's session are Rhiannon Edwards and Bob Adams. Thank you, officials. Please take your places. The competition will commence shortly. So remember that hashtag for the Twitter this week is at ASA Nats 2015. And we've already got some photos and tweets up on there. Now, Boldmere Swimming Club have been very busy. They say, first day of ASA Nats 2015 are due to start, and we have Joey Stranger in the Heat 8 of the 400 IM. So good luck, Joey. We've also got the Jamesons have said good luck to all the swimmers at ASA Nat 2015. Mr. Bluefin say it's rather busy here at Ponds Forge. Just wait as the week goes on. It's going to get even busier, even hotter as we see some fast swimming. So remember, keep those tweets coming in at ASA Nat 2015.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first event this morning is event 101, the women's 200 meters freestyle. There are 7 heats. Heat number 1. So we're looking forward to some very fast swimming this week, and we are on to the first heat of the ASA Summer Championships.
So in lane 1, we have Duri Tanner. Lane 2, Sophie Nigreen. 3, Laura McCluskey. 4, Eliossi. 5, Olivia Butler. 6, Phoebe Townsend. 7, Rosie Hepworth. And in lane 8, Ellie Brown.
As we come up now into the final meters of the first 100, currently leading the way, just pipping everyone in lane number 5, but also going well with her lane number 4, Elle Yusi. But it is Elle Brown over in lane number 8 who turns first there. 100 split time, 64.54.
So 64.54 is the time, the standard set. The following heats will be keeping an eye on what these swimmers do. as they come up to the 150 mark. It's great to see that these outside lanes are not putting off our swimmers, and we do get each year we get all the outside stormers coming in and some very fast times. Last year, I remember when I was at a competition, we had lane 1 was our fastest lane that kept coming up with a number of PBs. So let's see this week what they can do as they come in to the last 25 meters.
Last 10 metres now for lane number 4, LUC of Plymouth Leander. She's pulling about body length ahead to take heat number 1 in a time of 2:13.33. That's 1 second faster than her entry time into heat number 1.
We're not doing official results. The results are now official on the scoreboard. Heat number 2. So we move on to heat number 2. In lane 0, Michaela Glenister. Lane 1, Alice Thickett. 2, Tia Wilson. 3, Katie Laybourne. 4, Tilly Arend. 5, Shannon Dallaghan. 6, Cara Barber. 7, Maya Dunleavy. 8, Megan Mollily. And 9, Alicia Dingle. So remember, the time set in the last heat was 64.56. At the halfway mark, that is the time to beat. And our fastest finisher in the first heat was Ellie Ussi. So she finished in a 2:13.3. So that is the standard set so far.
Going well in the outsides lanes, lane number 9, Alicia Dingle. Also alongside her, Megan Moley in lane 8. As they come into the last 10 metres of the first 100.
So I mentioned this week I've got Jenny Dean beside me. Jenny is a regular at our aquatic events. Jenny, tell me, what events are you looking forward to this week?
Extremely looking forward to the relays today. Spoke to one of your team members earlier. It's his birthday, so we said we would give him a shout out later.
Exactly, that's Charlie Waddenham from City of Coventry. It is his birthday today, so happy birthday, Charlie. If you do have any birthdays this week, please do come and tell us, as we love to announce a birthday. And we hope that all of your teammates are going to bring you loads of presents, but keep the cakes till after the end of the week. So the 1:30 mark then, an outside stormer again, Roll Wolverhampton swimmer Alicia Dingle, 1:39.80. And I can tell you, she is on for a huge personal best time. So let's call all of our swimmers into the last 25 metres. Give them a shout, give them a wave, put your hands together, and let's bring our swimmers home for a number of personal best times. So it is still the outside lane, Alicia Dingle, but coming back very strong is Maya Dunleavy. Into the last 5, it looks like it may be Maya, it's on the touch. No, it's our outside stormer. Congratulations to Alicia Dingle from Wolverhampton, 2:13.93. Second place goes to Kira Barber from Hillingdon, 2:14.07. And the third place to Katie Laybourne from Hartlepool, 2:14.44.
And the official results are now on the scoreboard. We move on to heat number 3. In heat number 3, swimming in lane 0, Robin Moon. Lane 1, Aaliyah Ross. Lane 2, Lucy Armitage. In lane 3, Charlotte Walker. Lane 4, Chloe Lentz. In 5, Molly Dermott. 6, Alexandra Bartley. 7, Lily Godden. 8, Anna Cutts. And in 9, Ayana Lawson.
So you mentioned the relays later on. We have a number of relays, all the 4x100 meters freestyle relay, and these always are very exciting to watch. We've also got a heat declared winner event this morning, so we will be having a presentation, and I can tell you that event will be event 107, the women's multi-classification 200 meters freestyle. So we will be presenting the gold and silver medals for that event this morning. As we come into the halfway mark, though, these outside lanes, they are causing a lot of mix-up here as we turn Robin Moon in a 63.35. I can tell you that is slightly faster than the previous heat, and she has about a body length up on her nearest rival. This is really encouraging to see these swimmers putting some gutsy swims in the outside lanes.
And it is Robin Moon turning first, last 50 metres now of this 200 metres freestyle heat number 3. Her split there, 1:37.35. Coming up alongside her, though, in lane number 3, Charlotte Walker. Really picking up her kick as we come into the last 25 metres now. Also going well in lane number 6, Alexandra Bartley. Currently lying in 3rd, but don't forget lane number 2, Lucy Armitage, also swimming well as we come into the last 5 metres. But it is Robin Moon who takes heat number 3 in a time of 2:11.78. Second, Charlotte Walker, 2:12.18. And third, Alexandra Bartley, 2:13.69. And Robin setting the fastest time there so far in event 101, the women's 200 metres freestyle, 2:11.78, the time to beat.
The official results are now on the scoreboard. We move on to heat number 4. Heat number 4 then, in lane 0 from the City of Leeds, Tia Ward. Lane 1 from City of Coventry, Madeline Hoare. Lane 2 from Newcastle, Nina Holguin. Lane 3 from Guildford City, Eleanor Rickson. Lane 4 from the City of Birmingham, Kate Davis. Lane 5 from the City of Peterborough, Christy Woods. Lane 6 from Brompton, Spencer Williams. Lane 7 from Burnley Bobcats, Ellie Taylor. Lane 8 from Winsford, Alicia Hawkins. And in lane 9 from Ealing, Brody Judge. And again, these outside lanes are really proving very fast. And I can tell you, Brody Judge, my apologies, is having a storming first 100 metres. We have one 12-year-old left in this event, and she sits in lane number 0. That is Tia Ward. And she's also having a fantastic swim as we come up to the halfway mark.
Turning first here is Brody Judge in lane number 9, swimming very well. 61.52, fastest 100 metre split so far in this event. Going well over in lane number 2, Nina Holguin from Newcastle. She's pushing these swimmers over in lanes 0 and 1 along with her as we come up to the 150 mark.
So, Jenny, you mentioned it was 2 seconds faster. Sorry, it was the fastest split so far. 1.8 seconds faster at the halfway mark. But she's not having it her own way, Brodie Judge, as Nina Holguin is coming back stroke for stroke. And I can tell you, the 150 mark, 1:35.74. That's 1.5 seconds faster than the previous heat. But look at lane number 5 coming back like a storm. That's Christy Woods as we come into the last 15. And the race is on then between Brodie Judge and Nina Holguin. It looks like Nina way just grabbed this. But remember, we have some exciting finals later on. And that's where the medals will be won. And on the touch then, it is Brodie Judge with a fantastic last 15 metres on 2:10.11. Second place goes to Christy Woods. No, it doesn't. Nina Holguin in 2:10.32. And Christy Woods from City of Peterborough takes the third place in 2:11.11.
And the official results are on the scoreboard for heat number 4. We move on to heat 5. In heat number 5, swimming in lane 0, Olivia Nung. Lane 1, Dolly Trigg. In lane 2, Molly Wright. Lane 3, Elizabeth Oliver. Lane 4, Abby Smith. In lane 5, Georgia Wright. 6, Lucy Bean. 7, Phoebe Finch. 8, Rosemary Whittaker. And in 9, Chloe Platter.
So 29.51, that is the fastest split so far. And the first swimmer under 30 seconds. Really interesting to see these swimmers coming to these nationals, because this is where the strengths and the areas to improve are really highlighted as they're against their nearest rivals from across England. As we turn at the halfway mark, then Abby Smith, City at Birmingham University, 1:01.49 takes the lead.
And 1:01.49, the fastest split there, just 0.3 ahead of the heat before at the 100-metre mark. And as we come down this third length, it is lane number 4, Abby Smith of Birmingham Uni, still inching ahead as she comes into her final turn.
And this really is proving to be an exciting heat, as we've got about 5 swimmers in contention to take this top slot. Our swimmers range between the age of 15 and 19. So keep an eye on those outside lanes as they'll be looking to make their places for tonight's final. But coming back like a train, it is Abby Smith from Birmingham University. It looks like she may just edge it, but she's not having it her own way, Jenny.
She is having a fight for her in lane number 6, Lucy Bean, also coming up as we come into the last 5 metres now. But it is Abby Smith of Birmingham University who takes heat number 5 in a time of 2:06.89. Second is Lucy Bean, 2:07.02. And third, Georgia Wright, 2:08.08.
So some great swimming there, and a lot of the swimmers edging under their entry times. And I can tell you the results are now official, and they are on the scoreboard for you to see. Heat number 6. So we are on to the penultimate heat of this event. And in lane 0 from Northampton, Amy Lee. Lane 1 from Rickham District, Sophie Millen. 2 from the City of Sheffield, Amy Treslove. 3 from the City of Hereford, Calypso Carvey. 4 from the City of Leeds, Linda Shaw. 5 from Plymouth Leander, Emily Corrie. 6 from Lincoln Vulcans, Abigail Burr. 7 from Crawley, Jordan Sturt. In lane 8, swimming for Reading, Bethany Hunt. And in lane 9 from Team Luton, Chantel Smith.
Calypso Harvey in lane number 3. This is the fastest split time of the whole heat so far, and also the event so far. 28.97 for a 50-meter split. Also going well alongside her in lane number 4, Linda Shaw of City of Leeds. And it's these two who turn first at the 100-meter mark. Calypso Harvey, 60.65. Linda Shaw just next at 60.83. They're now body length ahead of the girls in lane number 6 and lane 2. That's Amy Treslov in 2 and Abigail Burr in 6.
And look at what's happening here. A lovely spearhead formation as we come into the last 5 meters. And these girls will be wanting to get a centre lane. That's Linda Shaw and Calypso Harvey, who want to be edging their place in the centre lane for tonight's final so they can see what's going on. But look at the lane number 6, that is Abigail Burr, and she is having a phenomenal last 50. Also, Plymouth Leander swimmer Emily Corey seems to have saved enough energy to come storming home in that last 50. But it is all about Linda Shaw as we come into the last 10.
Linda Shaw in lane 4, body length ahead, but both Calypso Harvey and Abigail Burr really trying to push their way as they come into the last 5 meters. But it is Linda Shaw of City of Leeds who takes heat number 6 in a time of 2:05.89.
She does indeed. And second place is Abigail Burr, 2:07.22. And the third place goes to Calypso Harvey in a 2:07.79. So the time to beat, 2:05.89. And I can tell you, we have been going crazy on Twitter. So good luck, Dorset, at the ASA Nationals. They say keep calm and be good. Also, we've got a lot of my old friends tweeting. Nikki Merrill, nice to hear from you. Thank you ever so much. As we move on to the final heat, it is heat number 7.
And we move on to heat number 7 of event 101, the women's 200 meters freestyle. This is the final heat. Swimming in lane 0, Neve Wilger. Lane 1, Emma Trotman. Lane 2, Courtney Price. In 3, Beth Aitchison. 4, Amrita Robertson. 5, Imogen Smith. 6, Kelsey Campbell. 7, Holly Shepherd. And in 9, Emma Whittingham.
So about 4 swimmers in contention at the moment, but we still have quite a long way to go of this 200 meters freestyle. Now the fastest split at 100 meters was 60.65, and quite a strong but slow, powerful stroke rate here in lane number 3. That's Beth Aitchison. She looks to be turning a good body length ahead of her nearest rival. She turns in a 59.85. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the first swimmer under a minute. Let's give some cheers and bring them all home.
Also vying for these second and third places, there's 4 girls currently in contention. Lane number 2, Courtney Price, alongside lane 4, Amrita Robertson, 5, Imogen Smith and Kelsey Campbell. But it is still Beth Aitchison leading the way there in lane number 3.
It is indeed, Jenny, and I can tell you her entry time is 2:06.66. And although she looks to be tiring up a little bit now, she's certainly going to smash that. And ladies and gentlemen, we do have another birthday in the house. It's Daniel Usi. He is 12 today. So happy birthday, Daniel Usi. I hope you get a personal best time on your birthday.
Into the last 10 meters now. It is Beth Aitchison leading the way, as she has done led from the beginning. She takes heat number 7 in a time of 2:06.10. Second is Amrita Robertson in lane 4, 2:07.13. And third, Imogen Smith in a time of 2:07.26.
And that really was a fantastic race there, Jenny. And the official results from that heat are on the scoreboard. Now that concludes the first heat as we move on to, the first event, shall I say. We move on to event 102, the men's open 100 meters butterfly. My apologies. You can tell I'm a little bit rusty as we will be just taking you through the summary of that whole event. So keep an eye on the scoreboard. We like to keep you waiting here in Ponsford so you can give a good scream when you see your swimmer's name. So the summary there is page number 1 of the women's 200 freestyle and page number 2, page number 3, page number 4, page number 5, page number 6, and page number 7.
So we've got a tweet here from Thanet Swim Club saying, well done to Robin Moon, cheered on by the world's loudest swim mum. New hashtag there. I see any other mums who are shouting loudly. I guess you should tweet us with hashtag world's loudest swim mum. Also, Seagull Swim saying, let's go Dorset. Come on, Max in the 100 fly, who's up first in the next event. Also from Cambridgeshire ASA, good luck to all CAMS swimmers competing in Sheffield this week.
It really is going crazy on Twitter, and I love reading out these tweets. A good old friend of mine, Edward Sinclair, says, good luck, have fun swimming fast at Teddington Swim. So hashtag dream, believe, achieve. I love that message. Now we move on to event 102. It is now the men's 100 meters butterfly, heat number 1. So I can tell you we have 8 heats of this event, and remember we have all of our ages mixed together and then they swim separately in tonight's final. Now 4 swimmers in heat number 1. In lane 3 is Mason Honeysett from Basildon, Phoenix. Lane 4, Jack Dolly from the city of Leicester. Lane 5, Sean Patrick McGowan from Hillingdon. And in lane 6, Cameron Lewis from Gloucester. So a little bit of a dish dash, split splash as they come into the halfway mark. It is 31.16. And again, ladies and gentlemen, the outside storming lanes. So these guys not being put off being in heat number 1 because they know they've got to set the standard for all the rest of the heats and the swimmers to follow.
And we come into the last 15 meters now. It's lane number 3, Mason Honeysett, leading the way, just about body length ahead, but also coming up on his side in lane 5, Sean Patrick McGowan. Coming into touch, it is Mason Honeysett in a time of 66.51. Second, Sean Patrick McGowan, 107.4. And third, Cameron Lewis in 108.04. And Mason there doing a 1.9 second PB in heat number 1. What can we expect for the rest of these heats? The official results are on the scoreboard. We move on to heat number 2. In heat number 2, swimming in lane 0, Ewan Wilson. Lane 1, Ryan Wheeler. Lane 2, Nathaniel Rodriguez. Lane 3, William Barber. Lane 4, Jack Bauer. Lane 5, Ethan Murtaugh. Lane 6, Eugene Brooks Clark. In 7, Kaio Tanner. 8, Max Weeks, and in 9, Samuel Sali.
And so we are on to the first of our fall heats. 31.16 is the time to beat, and we are already into the 30s. 30.58 for Nathaniel Rodriguez. But I can tell you it's not over yet, because look at the swimmers coming back at him stroke for stroke. And I tell you what, the last 15 meters of this event is always the tough one. A lot of our swimmers feel the elephants on their back. They feel the pianos on their back. But the swimmer here in lane number 2 is having a storming race. Lane number 1, Ryan Wheeler. I'm getting my lanes mixed up. I'm getting too excited on day number 1. And Ryan touches in a 65.77. That's fantastic swimming by him, and I can tell you that is a new personal best time for Ryan. Congratulations. Second place goes to Kaio Tanner from Preston in a 66.85, and Ethan Murtagh is a 66.97 to take the third place. Congratulations, swimmers. The results for that heat now are official and can be seen on the scoreboard. So we move on to heat number 3. So we move on to heat number 3. In lane 0 from the Borough of Kirklees, Nathan Cullen. Lane 1 from Munster, Aaron Carroll. Lane 2 from Tynemouth, Will Morris. 3 from Munster, Jeremy O'Connor. In 4 from Northampton, Billy Petit. Lane 5 from Romford Town, James Cooper. 6 from Northampton, Edward Mildred. Lane 7 from Bournemouth College, Finnan Trihan. Lane 8 from Stowmarket, Manfred Battle, and in lane 9 from Swim Trafford, Max Martin. 28.74 then, Jenny. That is our fastest time so far.
2 seconds ahead of the previous heat at the 50-meter split, and it is lane number 5, James Cooper of Romford Town, who leads the way, body length ahead of the swimmer on his left. In lane number 4, Billy Petit, also swimming well, but currently also vying for third. Several lanes as we come into touch. It is James Cooper in a time of 62.19, the fastest time set so far in this 100 meters butterfly. 3 seconds PB. Second place, Billy Petit, Northampton, 63.61, and in third place, Finnan Trihan in 64.43. And the official results are now on the scoreboard. And we move on to heat number 4. And in heat number 4, in lane 0, Alfie Evans. Lane 1, Samuel Wardle. Lane 2, Mario Coman. Lane 3, William Graham. In 4, James Cuthbert. 5, Simon Clement. 6, Benjamin Samuel. 7, William Camden. 8, Piers Bowden. And in 9, Sean Scannell.
So the previous heat halfway mark was 28.74. So this is just a 10th quicker. Hell's Owen swimmer James Cuthbert, 28.69. But again, keep an eye on those outside lanes, because I can tell you the swimmer in lane number 8, Guildford City swimmer Piers Bowden, he's coming back like a train, breathing slightly to his right, so he can't see what's going on in the middle of the pool. But as we come into the last 15 meters, then it is between Piers Bowden and also James Cuthbert. And it looks like it will be on the touch. Who's it going to be? It is our outside stormer, Guildford City swimmer, Piers Bowden, 62.38. I can tell you that's a new personal best time. Second place goes to Hell's Owen swimmer, James Cuthbert, 63.27. And Doncaster Dart swimmer, Simon Clement, takes the bronze place in that heat, 63.41. And I can tell you those results are now official, so have a look at the scoreboard, put your hands together and give all of our swimmers a round of applause. So we move on to heat number 5. In lane 0 from Saxon Crown, Matrice Sobotsky. Lane 1 from the Borough of Harrow, Lucas Dyson Diaz. Lane 2 from Wickham District, James Eddy. 3 from City of Southampton, Kieran Beckett. 4 from Brighton, Harry Stacey. 5 from Henfield Squad, Samuel Perrier. 6 from Norwich, Ryan Smith. 7 from the Borough of Harrow, Ben Hooper. 8 from Aquabears, Niall Dunn. And 9 from Borough of Harrow, Yusuf Nukmar.
And turning first there in lane number 1, Lucas Dyson Diaz, 28.2. He's 0.12 ahead of Ryan Smith over in Ben Hooper, over in lane number 7. Also going well alongside Ben Hooper, Ryan Smith in lane 6. But there's 4 boys here swimming all very well as we come into the last 15 meters. Lane number 1, 2, 6 and 7 all vying for a touch first in heat number 5, but it is Ben Hooper, lane number 7, as well as James Eddy in lane number 2, 61.02, and then third place there, Lucas Dyson Diaz with a time of 61.29. Well done to those boys touching the same time, 61.02 in heat number 5. And the official results are now on the scoreboard.
That was extremely exciting, and I like to hear those hands clapping and you screaming. Please keep it going as we move on to heat number 6.
On to heat 6 in lane 0, Jack Toe. Lane 1, Aaron Hill. Lane 2, Robert Hamer. 3, Oliver Lines. In 4, Anthony Evans. In 5, William Condron. In 6, Freddie Clampett. In 7, R. Omande Cunningham. In 8, Callum Davis. And in 9, Miles Clark.
Now the halfway mark to beat, 28.20. And I can tell you, look at that scoreboard, it's 26.03. Wow-wee, swimmers. Let's bring it home as they come into their last 25. I think some of the spectators have had their coffee as we seem to be getting louder as the morning session goes on. So come on, ladies and gentlemen, last 10 meters, let's cheer them in, put your hands together and show your appreciation for all this year's hard work as we touch home with William Condrum in a 56.88. Fantastic swimming. 56.88. Second place, Anthony Everts, 57.26. And the third place goes to Warrington Warrior swimmer, Aaron Hill, 57.60. So some fantastic swimming there. Congratulations, swimmers. And those results are now official and can be seen on the scoreboard. We move on to heat number 7. Heat number 7 then, the penultimate heat, second heat of our sickly seeded heats. Lane 0, Kingston Roll swimmer Dylan Conway. Lane 1, City of Birmingham swimmer Jake Dixon. Lane 2 from Ellesmere College, Jacob Jackson. Lane 3 from Hatfield, Edward Alcorn. Lane 4 from Plymouth Leander, Reese Dunn. 5 from Worcester, Robin Williams. 6 from Basildon Phoenix, George Epsley. 7 from the City of St Albans, Liam Curran. And in lane 8, from Winsford, Brandon Sharkey. Also from Winsford in lane number 9 is Adam Blackshaw.
Reese Dunn in lane number 4 from Plymouth Leander, leading the way at the 50 split, 25.96, but going well alongside him in lane number 3, Edward Alton of Hatfield. He looks like he's inching ahead as we come into the last 10 meters now. Don't forget though, lane 4, and 5. As we come into touch, though, it is Reese Dunn in lane number 4, takes it in a time of 55.83, fastest time so far. In second place, it is Edward Alton of Hatfield, 55.97, and in the third, Robin Williams, 56.53, and the official results are on the scoreboard. And we move on now to heat number 8, the final heat of event 102, the men's 100 meters butterfly. In heat 8, lane 0, Ewan McCavitt. Lane 1, Mason Jacks. Lane 2, James Baxter. In 3, Paul Wilkes. 4, Dominic Woodridge. 5, Tudor Pizzette. In 6, Matthew Bray. 7, Harry Parker. 8, Daniel Hall. And in 9, Jack Thomas Manfield.
So this is the last heat. And remember, we've had the last 3 heats of each event will be sickly seeded, so they will have our fastest swimmers in those 3 heats. And Dominic Woodbridge is our fastest swimmer on paper with a 56.09. But we've already seen Reese Dunn go 55.83. And look at what's happening in lane number 4. Dominic Woodbridge, then Exeter City, looks like he's going to come home and take this in perhaps a new personal best time. He's a good body length and a half. He takes it in 55.11. Ladies and gentlemen, that's fantastic swimming. Please put your hands together. Second place of that heat, again, 2 swimmers touching home together. Ealing swimmer Tudor Pizzette in 57.23, and also Paul Wilkes from Redditch, our 31-year-old, 57.23. And I can tell you the results for that heat are now official.
And the summary is now on the scoreboard. So the summary of event 102, the men's 100 meters butterfly. The board's now scrolling through with the fastest times first, and the top 10 and 2 reserves of each age group will go through to the finals.
So as those results summary are on the board, I will tell you all of this week, starting from this evening session, over on the spectators side, there will be a lovely team who are from the Anti-Doping Outreach Programme. They will be there to give you advice on how to check your medication, what medication you can take for swimming. And they'll be there during every single warm-up on the spectators' side of the gallery. So if, as a swimmer, you want any advice, or parents, you want any advice, go and see Maria Kelly from the Anti-Doping Outreach Programme. Keep an eye on them. They will be just as you come through the doors on the left-hand side.
And just a reminder to all athletes in your spectating area, there are signs that do say please do not stand here because there's filming in progress, and as I can see, unfortunately, I can see lots of you standing there. So if you are standing by a do not stand here sign, please can you move along and sit down in your chairs. You can see perfectly well from there, and I can see you from here.
I never understand why people miss these signs, Jenny. And I can see there's a certain Mr. Dave right by one of those signs. Mr. Dave Everett, please do move along. You are by one of those signs. Thank you very much. If you could just move slightly to the right, we would appreciate that. Thank you. We are filming all of this week, which is why we ask you not to stand by those signs. We're filming all this week so people can buy their lovely USB sticks. And I can tell you they range from £10 for 1 up to £50 for 6. So please make sure you go and see the accreditation desk for your USB stick, for all of the action in this week. And we've had some fantastic swimming so far. And I can tell you the rest of the events to come are the women's open 50 butterfly, men's 400 IM. We then have the women's 200 IM, the men's multi-classification, 200 freestyle. Our heat declared women go in the multi-classification, 200 freestyle. And then we move on to our splish splash dish dash relays. So make sure you stay around for the whole of the morning session. If you need to pop out for a cup of coffee, that's absolutely fine, as long as you come back, put your hands together, put your shouting voices on as you cheer all of these swimmers. Remember, they've worked really hard all year time and they need your support. So we move on to the next event. That is event 103, the women's 100, no it's not, it's the 50 meters butterfly. And we go on to heat number 1.
And the swimmers are making their way out now for event 103, the women's 50 meters butterfly. There are 8 heats. Heat number 1. In heat 1, lane number 1, Maisie Elliott. Lane 2, Megan Pye. 3, Eleanor Cohen. 4, Jessica Mansfield. 5, Ella Veekins. 6, Hannah Raystrick. 7, Ruby Fraser. And 8, Tia Ward. And we are coming into the last 15 meters now, currently leading the way just ahead of her teammates in lane 2, Megan Pye. Second, currently lane 3, Eleanor Cohen. And as we come to 50 meters, it is Megan Pye of UEA Norwich, 30.43. Second, Ella Veekins, and third, Tia Ward. And the official results for heat number 1 are on the scoreboard.
Before we move on to the next heat, can we please have a coach from Seven Oaks to the timing suite, please? That's a coach from Seven Oaks to the timing suite immediately. Thank you. So we move on to heat number 2. So heat number 2 in the water in lane 0, Catherine Russell. 1, Jade Moore. 2, Alicia Kelly. 3, Jenna Nuttin. 4, Hannah Seymour. 5, Elodie Smallwood. 6, Jodie Gittens. 7, Katie Laybourne. 8, Abby Jones. And in 9, Cassia Whitaker. So the time to beat, I can tell you, is 30.43. And there's nothing separating these girls. It is going to be down to their technique, how much they've practiced the finishing on the wall, who's going to hit it. And it looks like it is going to be lane number 1. No, it's not. It's lane 9. In fact, I can tell you we have 2 joint winners. That's Cassia Whitaker from the Isle of Man, 30.61, takes that heat. Also with Elodie Smallwood, 30.61. And just 1/100th behind them was Hannah Seymour from Morpeth in a 30.62. Fantastic swimming. And the results are now official on the scoreboard. We move on to heat number 3.
We're on to heat number 3 in lane 0, Anna Smale, lane 1, Grace Leach, lane 2, Cameron Minifie, 3, Charlotte Blake, 4, Holly White, 5, Nico Rose Tedai, 6, Lily Snell, 7, Ellie Tennant, 8, Zed Penagre Cajeras, and 9, Jessica Carroll. And it is quite tight between these races, but it is a lane number 6, Lily Snell of Sevenoaks, touching their 30 dead. Fastest time so far in these heats. Second, Charlotte Blake, 30.17, and third, Ellie Tennant, 30.29. And the official results are now on the scoreboard. And we move on to heat number 4.
So heat number 4 in lane 0, Alicia Hawkins, 1, Freya Shaw, 2, Izzy Price, 5, Kaylee Decker, 4, Finley Dukes, 5, Holly Wallinson, 6, Emily Keys, 7, Charlotte Wynne-Jones, 8, Lucy Ambrose, and in 9, Ruby Burns. So 30.00, the time to beat. And these swimmers really do have to keep an eye on their wall, make sure they finish on a full stroke. They would have practiced this day in, day out. And lane 3, no, it's not, it's lane 5. Holly Ronlinson finishes in a very strong 29.76. 3 swimmers under 30 seconds. Second place goes to Bicester swimmer Charlotte Wynne-Jones, 29.78. And Katie Decker, Mount Kelly, in a 29.88 takes the 3rd place. And I can tell you for heat number 4, the official results are on the scoreboard. And we move on to heat number 5.
In heat 5, lane 0, Rhiannon Bowen. In 1, Holly Pearson. 2, Lucy Armitage. 3, Laura Brooks. 4, Lucy Hawley. 5, Emily Spencer. 6, Emily Sharp. 7, Caitlin Bergen. 8, Thea Crummins. And in 9, Rebecca Noyce. And it's still very tight between these girls in heat number 5. Slowly inching ahead at the middle 3. We come into the last 5 meters now. Touching first there, Laura Brooks in a time of 29.72. Just 0.5 faster than the heat before, so that's the fastest time so far. Second, Lucy Hawley, 29.8. And in third, Emily Spencer, 29.9. First 3 girls, they're all also going under 30 seconds. And the official results are on the scoreboard. And we move on to heat number 6.
Heat number 6, the first of our sickly seeded heats. Lane 0, Ellie Taylor. Lane 1, Emily Cutler. Lane 2, Emily Crane. 3, Imogen Gould. 4, Stephanie Williams. 5, Clara Nuttin. 6, Ellie Nutt. 7, Tabitha Reed-Caton. 8, Abigail Bohr. And 9, Millie Scotchbrook. Time to beat then, 29.72. And these ladies will be trying to fight their way into tonight's final, and coming up to take it, it looks like it will be City of Leicester swimmer, but a fantastic last 5 meters was Imogen Gould. But I can tell you, Ellie Nuttin took that on the touch from Abingdon Vale in a 28.64. Nova Centurions, Imogen Gould, second place, 28.65. And Emily Crane, City of Leicester, 28.86. That really was a very close one there. And those results are now official and can be seen on the scoreboard. And we move on to the penultimate heat. That is heat number 7.
A reminder to all athletes, spectators and coaches, please refrain from having flash photography on your cameras or your phones. You might not know you're doing it, so please make sure you turn off your flash if you are taking photos today and this week. And we move on to heat number 7. In Heat 7, Lane 0, Shannon Stott. Lane 1, Molly Allen. In 2, Holly Wiley. 3, Sophie Simpson. 4, Megan Basford. 5, Olivia Pollard. 6, Rihanna Bennett. 7, Chloe Close. 8, Kate Mills. And in 9, Rebecca Pearson. And in this penultimate heat, it's very close between these 9 girls. As we come up to the touch, it is Sophie Simpson from Loughborough University, 28.83. Second there, Megan Basford, 28.92. And in third place, Olivia Pollard, 29.01. And the official results of heat number 7 are on the scoreboard.
We move on to the final heat then of this event, heat number 8. Lane 0 from Colchester, Eleanor Dooley. Lane 1, Eleanor Bailey. 2, Charlotte Taylor. 3, Anna Cheeseborough. 4, Evie Edwards. 5, Becky Scave. 6, Katrina Order. 7, Madison Kemp. 8, Georgia Smith. And 9, Neve Wilger. So the fastest time was actually in heat number 6. That's 28.64. But remember, these girls are splitting off tonight as they go into their own finals in their own age groups. But on the touch then, in the final heat, it is going to go to the City of Salford swimmer, Katrina Order, in a 28.90. Second place goes to Anna Cheeseborough from Loughborough University in a 28.98. And just 1/100th behind her, Evie Edwards from Preston. Now, the official results can be seen for that heat on the scoreboard. And a summary of the women's 50 metres butterfly is now shown on the scoreboard. So we have the hashtag is going crazy. Remember what I said, the more inspirational texts, or shall I say tweets, we will read out. So send them through, make us giggle, and we'll read those ones out. Jamie O'Connor says, good luck to Thanet Swim Club and Eloise swimming at the Summer Nationals this week. Show them how it's done and have a great week. We also have Andy Armstrong saying to good luck to all the pioneer swimmers on today's event. Swim fast, hashtag swim proud. That's what we like. Inspirational. Remember what these swimmers do on day 1 sets them up for the rest of the week. Jenny, what event are we going to be moving on to, and what else have we got left in this morning's session?
Well, we've got left the men's 400 meters IM, and that is coming up. There are 9 heats in event 104. Following that, it's the women's 200 meters individual medley, and then the men's multi-classification 200 meters freestyle, the women's heat declared winner multi-classification 200 meters freestyle, and then on to the relays, my favorite. And so now we move on to event 104, the men's 400 meters individual medley. There are 9 heats. Heat number 1. So we're on to heat number 1 of the men's 400 meters individual medley. In lane number 1 from Mount Kelly, Jack Plummer. Lane 2, swimming for Nova Centurion, Ryan Wilcox. In 3, representing Rumford Town, Liam Brennan. In 4, from Havant and Waterville, Luke Pullen. In 5, representing Thanet Swim, Kieran Dale. In 6, from Chester Le Street, Daniel Butler. In 7, representing Nova Centurion, Joseph Kingsland. And in 8, representing Guildford City, Jordan McPhail.
So 1:10:43 at the 100-meter mark. Have quite a lot of a lot of heats in this event. The last 3 heats will be sickly seeded. But all of our swimmers will be wanting to do personal best times this morning. 400-meter IM then, a really tough event. And you have to be technically great on all 4 strokes. Now, the breaststroke has history of showing where the race usually ends up around. It's the telling leg. But at the moment, we have 6 swimmers all in contention as they're coming up to the halfway mark.
I was going to say, Sarah, this was my least favorite event. I was absolutely terrible at breaststroke and therefore always came last.
I have to say, to be honest, Jenny, mine was 200 or 100 meters breaststroke. I don't think I ever swam a race where I didn't get disqualified. So we come up to the halfway mark then, 2:29.71. Great to see these swimmers going under 2.5 for the halfway mark. And this is the leg that I told you about. This is where we will see everything change. You have to have a good 100 meters breaststroke to do a 400 IM. And I can tell you, this is where they will start to be feeling those elephants. I talked about them before. The elephants on the back, the pianos on the back. So they will need a lot of encouragement as they come into their last 100 meters. But they still have 50 meters to go on the breaststroke leg.
And it is Orion Wilcox in lane number 2 from Nova Centurion, who has pushed past to take the lead now as we come into the second leg of the breaststroke. He's about a body length ahead of the rest of the field now as we come into the final 25 meters of the breaststroke leg. Also going well over in lane number 8, Jordan McPhail. Currently inching ahead as we come into the last 15 meters of breaststroke.
And what a difference that leg has made. And I can tell you in lane number 2, Ryan Wilcox has absolutely taken this leg by a storm as he's got 100 meters to go. 4:01.05. Now Ryan Wilcox is 13 years of age. We've got a couple of 12-year-olds in this heat in lane number 7 and 8. And they really need to set the standard for the heat number 2 and heat number 3 that has the rest of our 13 and 12-year-olds. But they come in with just over 50 meters to go, and I can tell you Ryan Wilcox has 3 body lengths up on his nearest rival, Jenny. This really is fantastic swimming, isn't it?
Definitely, that breaststroke leg really did it for him there. Leading ahead now, 5 meters ahead of the rest of the field, but fighting for the 2nd and 3rd place finish in heat number 1 is lane number 4, Luke Pullen, and lane 5, Kieran Dale. Luke just inching about half a body length ahead of Kieran as we come into the last 15 meters, but it is Ryan Wilcox of Nova Centurion leading the way out in lane number 2. Entry time there of 5:19.85, and he absolutely smashes that. 5:12.97. Ryan Wilcox in lane number 2. Second, Luke Pullen, 5:16.56, and third, Kieran Dale, 5:17.10. And the official results of the men's 400 meters individual medley heat number 1 are on the scoreboard. We move on to heat number 2.
We move on to heat number 2. In lane 0 from Munster, Aaron Carroll. Lane 1 from Beckenham, Timothy Lebrel. Lane 2 from Romford Town, James Cooper. Lane 3 from the City of Hereford, James Bilbo. Lane 4 from City of Liverpool, Ben Smith. Lane 5 from Millfield, Hugh Williams. Lane 6 from Munster, Owen Corby. Lane 7, swimming for the City of Leicester, James Newman. Lane 8 from Northampton, Edward Mildred. And in lane 9 from the City of Birmingham, Luke Skedlin. So the fastest time set so far was in heat number 1, and that was 5:12.97, with a first 100-meter split of 1:10.43. And it looks like it is between lane number 5, Hugh Williams at the moment, and lane number 2, James Cooper. But I never like to guess what the end result will be until that breaststroke leg. So 1:05, these boys are 5 seconds up on the previous heat. 65.15 for Hugh Williams from Milford. Now we've had a lot of Twitter happening, and I can tell you, we've had someone from Spain tweet us, and actually in Spanish. So I'm going to give it a little go and see where we come out with. Un recomendamiento para esos deportistas tan ricos y tan constes como es natación. Good luck, Lucas D and Dyson. Dyson Diaz even. No idea if that's any good, but keep the tweets coming in, and preferably in English, please.
That was very impressive Spanish there, Sarah. Better than if I tried to read it out, so I am very impressed. And as we come down the second length of this backstroke 100 meters, it is lane number 2, James Cooper, leading the way. He comes now to touch at the halfway mark, 2:21.72. That's 8 seconds faster than the fastest split in heat number 1. Currently lying in second place, Hugh Williams in lane 5, and also third, great backstroke swim there from him, Ben Smith in lane 4. But we're now on to the ever-changing breaststroke leg. And going well over in lane number 7, James Newman, City of Leicester. He's inching up now to lie in second place position.
So these boys range between 12 years and 14 years of age. Northampton swimmer Edward Mildred in lane number 8 are just only solo 12-year-old left. Here's an entry time of 5:14.13 and looks to be on form for a new entry time personal best. But I can tell you 3:08.08, Romford Town's James Cooper, but having a fantastic leg here. And up in lane number 7, City of Leicester swimmer James Newman. And it really is all changing as they come into the final 100 metres. Now, the previous time was 5:12.97. And the previous 300 split, 4:01.05. So they're going to be well up on that. But James Newman then leads with 100 metres to go and a 3:53.73. Ladies and gentlemen, a number of these swimmers are on for personal best times. This is a tough event. So please, let's hear you. Grab some more coffee and give them a cheer as they come down in their last 75 metres.
So currently leading the way at that turn, James Newman in lane number 7. But also going well in lane 2, James Cooper of Romford Town. Really picking up his kick here as they come into the final turn. And it is James Newman who's turned there first, 4:29.92.
But Jenny, keep an eye on lane number 2 because James Cooper really has something left in the bag here as they come into the last 25 metres. James Newman looks to be tying up, and here comes James Cooper. He is now edging away. A fantastic last 50 for him. Maybe he might have left a little bit in the bag, but he is going to take this heat. He touches home in a 5:02.25. I can tell you that is a huge improvement on his entry time. Second place is our early leaders, James Newman, 5:02.87. And the City and Liverpool swimmer, Ben Smith, 5:07.04. This is a tough event, so ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for heat number 2. So the results are now official for the heat, and they can be seen on the scoreboard. And we move on to heat number 3.
We move on to heat number 3, as swimming in lane 0 from City of Birmingham, Oliver Watson. In lane 1 from Chelsea and Westminster, Daniel Petrov. 2, representing Wickham District, Timur Gilligan. In 3 from Hatfield, Cole James. In 4 from City of Liverpool, James Petner. In 5, representing Kingston Hull, Joe Besdeo Taylor. In 6, representing Holton, William Woodford. In 7, swimming for Bournemouth College, Christian Tye. In 8, swimming for Thanet Swim, Joshua Cohen. And in 9, representing City of Leicester, Cole Lee. We come into the last 10 metres now of the first 100 metres butterfly in this 400 metres IM. Currently leading the way, Christian Tye of Bournemouth College in lane number 7. Split there, 65.56. Also going well, though, in lane number 2 is Timur Galilian, 65.97. Pretty close between these two leading boys on this backstroke leg.
Always interesting, the 400 IM, because you never hardly ever see a formation of a spearhead, especially in our heats. So remember, we move on to the penultimate heats later on, or should I say the sickly seeded heat. So that will be heats 7, 8 and 9. And our fastest swimmers will be in those heats. But these guys are still fighting for final places in their respective age groups. Lovely long strokes here from the swimmer in lane number 2, Timo Gillian. And lane number 7, Christian Tay. Very, very strong straight rates from these two gentlemen. Slightly faster kick rate in lane number 2, but they will be turning pretty much similarly at the halfway mark. As we turn then with 200 metres to go, Christian Tay, 2:24.10, and a great 100 metres backstroke there from Cole Lee as he puts himself back into contention. These boys are now well under halfway to go.
Some very good swims there on that backstroke leg from the outside lanes. Lane 0 going well now, Oliver Watson, as well as those over in 8 and 9, Joshua Cohen and Cole Lee.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, at the halfway mark, that was slightly down than the previous heat. And I can tell you, if you do shout loud and you do cheer, these swimmers really do hear you. And it means the world to them to know that you're getting behind them as they come in with just over 100 metres to go. So if you're not awake yet, go and grab yourself a coffee. Get your voice ready, buy some lockets for this afternoon's session, and please cheer these swimmers, because remember, this is what they've worked for the whole of the year. This is why you as parents have got up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So come on then, they've got 100 metres to go. Let's give them support. And we have a new leader, and I can tell you that is Wickham swimmer, Timo Gillian. He was just slightly behind at the halfway, and no, it's not. It's James Pettener, City of Liverpool, putting a storming 100 metres breaststroke there.
Very good 100 metres breaststroke swim there from lane number 4, James Pettener, City of Liverpool. He's now body length ahead of lane 2, Timo Gillian of Wickham District, who was leading from the beginning, but it is now James Pettener's race. Is anyone going to be able to catch him as they come up to the last 50 metres of this 400 metres individual medley? Do get behind your swimmers, cheer them on. This is going to be a tough last length for them. They'll be feeling it as they come down this final 50 metres. Really picking up the kick rate there over in lane number 8, Joshua Cohen of Down at Swim. He's really coming back in this last 20 metres now. So currently lying in first place. Doesn't look like anyone's going to catch him. It is lane number 4, James Pettener, who takes heat number 3 in a time of 4:59.46. The first swimmer to go sub 5 minutes. And that's a good 6 seconds faster than his entry time. Second, in lane 8, Joshua Cohen, in a time of 5:03.34. And third, lane 0, good final 100 metres from him, Oliver Watson, in 5:04.80. And the official results are now on the scoreboard for heat number 3. We move on to heat 4.
So as the swimmers dive in for heat number 4. In lane 0, swimming for Stockport Metro, Harvey Jones. Lane 1, representing Northampton, Brett Davis. Lane 2, representing Grantham, William Hawkes. Lane 3, representing Nova Centurion, Joshua Harris. Lane 4, representing Maidenhead, Joel Lang. Lane 5, representing Winsford, Adam Blackshaw. Lane 6, representing Borough of Kirklees, Samuel Luzu. Lane 7, representing Romford Town, Billy Harrison. Lane 8, representing Tynemouth, Alfie Kelly. And in lane 9, representing Bournemouth College, Ferdinand Tureen. So we saw the first swimmer go under the magic 5-minute mark in the previous heat. That was James Pettineer, just 14 years of age, from the city of Liverpool. He went 4:59.46. And these outside lanes really are having some fast water in there this morning, as Alfie Kelly from Tynemouth turns first in a 64.01. But we have 3 swimmers turning in 64. And it's great to look across the pool and see all the different stroke techniques on all 4 strokes. A lot of these swimmers have a slightly slower stroke rate on this 100-meter backstroke, so they can conserve their energy for the all-important breaststroke leg, which is where most people tend to make their move. But if you were a betting lady, Jenny, who would you put your money on at this point?
Oh, you can't get me to do that, Sarah. You know, even from your experience, you said you will only judge from the breaststroke leg, so that is unfair, I think.
Oh, come on, Jenny. Come on.
Oh, well, I think they have, lane number 8 has had a pretty good swim so far. Will they have enough left in the tank? Alfie Kelly in lane 8? It's a good question.
It is indeed. As they come up to the halfway mark then, our new leader, lane number 5, Adam Blackshaw. He's had a busy morning so far, swimming in the events before. A lovely speedy turn, though, by Joshua Harris to put him into a first position at the halfway mark, 2:21.48. So let's have a look what's going to happen on this leg. And already the swimmers behind our 2 early leaders are coming back. Now, Jenny, if I was to put a bet on now, I might even make a punt on lane number 4, Joel Lang from Maidenhead.
I was also going to say, swimming well in lane number 6, Samuel Luzu. Very good breaststroke leg now coming up as they come into the final 50 metres of the breaststroke leg.
But the outside stormer as well from Bournemouth College, Ferdinand Tureen. It's a good job I don't bet.
Lane number 9 are going very well in this second length of breaststroke. About a body length ahead there of a lane number 3, Joshua Harris. And also alongside him, a lane 2, William Hawkes from Grantham.
Absolutely, William Hawkes starting to make his move here, and it looks like he is going to turn in first position. Has he done enough, though, to stay ahead, or has he put too much energy on this leg? Only time will tell. Ladies and gentlemen, I mentioned before, they need your support. This is a tough event. Come on, let's bring them home. Hear you shouting. If you've got a horn, give it a hoot. If you've just got a voice, give it a shout.
And that, yes, was a very good breaststroke leg from William Hawkes. Now got clear water ahead of the rest of the field. Trying to keep up, though, next to him, Joshua Harris in lane number 3, the green hat of Centurion. As we come into the final turn now in this 400 metres individual medley, let's get behind these swimmers and cheer them on in this final length.
Absolutely, Jenny, and I can see that William Hawkes is starting to tie up. He breathed into that last turn. That's always a sign of tiredness. But coming back, having a great last length is Romford Town, Billy Harrison. And the battle is on now for the minor places. I think William Hawkes has done just enough to hang on. But come on, put your hands together as they come in for the last 5 metres. These swimmers really are swimming so well. But taking this heat number 4 is William Hawkes in a 4:56.83. That is the fastest time so far. He swims for Grantham. The second place is our speedy finisher from Romford Town, Billy Harrison, 4:57.85. And the third place goes to Nova Centurion swimmer, our early leader, Joshua Harris, in a 5:00.43. Ladies and gentlemen, come on, put your hands together for all of our swimmers. The results for that heat are now official and can be seen on the scoreboard. So we move on to heat number 5.
In heat number 5 of the men's 400 metres individual medley, swimming in lane 0 from Basildon Phoenix, Harry Nichols. In 1 from Borough of Harrow, Ben Hooper. In 2, representing City of Sheffield, Jack Toe. In 3, swimming for Aquaisulis, Henry Dixon. In 4, representing West Suffolk, Miles Turner. In 5, swimming for City of Leicester, Thomas Christie Smith. In 6, representing Portsmouth Northsea, Dominic Johnson. In 7, swimming for UEA Norwich, Samuel Peck. In 8, representing Cleethorpes, Nathan Wood. And in 9, representing Stockport, Alex Crossland-Robbins.
So at the 100-metre mark then, 103.93 for Ben Hooper. He swims for the Borough of Harrow. He's 15 years of age. In fact, every single swimmer in this heat is 15 years of age. We've got a couple of 15-year-olds in the next heat, and then we move on to the older boys. So these boys in heat number 5 will be wanting to book their place for tonight's final, so they will need all of the encouragement. And I must tell you that I've been asked to do a special mention on Twitter to the Yellow Peril spectators from Pool Swimming Club. Go on, give us a cheer. Oh, that was pathetic. Come on. If you're from Pool Swimming Club, give us a cheer. There we go. Fantastic. Keep them coming in at ASA Nat 2015. It looks like we've had a number of personal best times. A lot of coaches very proud of their swimmers and like to tweet the results on Twitter. Come on, I want to have some inspirational quotes that we can read out. But at the halfway mark then, the water in lane number 8 proves to be very fast. It is Nathan Wood from Cleethorpes. He turns in a 2:17.21. Now, Jenny, come on, put your money where your mouth is. Who's going to win this heat?
Looking strong is lane number 7. I would say lane 7, Samuel Peck, coming through strongly in this breaststroke leg. What do you think? What are your thoughts, Sarah?
Oh, you've caught me on the hot there. I was just reading the tweets. And I do need to make an apology to one swimming club, as we have been pronouncing the wrong name. It's not Bournemouth College. It is Bournemouth Collegiate. So apologies for that. We will get it right for the rest of the week. But let's get back to the busy action in the pool, because this really is the leg. And Jenny thinks she has called it. But I'm also keeping an eye on lane number 2. That is Jack Toe. He's used to this pool because he is from the city of Sheffield. But ladies and gentlemen, this really is a great swim by the swimmer in lane number 7, UEA Norwich swimmer Samuel Peck. He's a good 3 body lengths up on his nearest rival. And the fastest time we've had so far is 4:56.83. So he would have seen that. He knows exactly what he's got to do. And his entry time, Jenny, is 4:59.56. He's going to smash that, but by how much is the question?
That is a good question, but he is now leading the way a good 10 metres ahead of the rest of the field. And it's a fight before the 2nd and 3rd place finish between lane 2, Jack Toe, lane 5, Thomas Christie Smith, and 8, Nathan Wood. They'll all be looking for a top finish place so they can get through to tonight's final. And also over in lane 8, it is Nathan Wood for Cleethorpes, finishing fast, but final turn here for Samuel Peck, UEA Norwich, in lane number 7. He can see the finish now, and he will be looking to push ahead to take heat number 5. And so it is now a fight between lanes 5 and 6. Lane 6, Dominic Johnson from Portsmouth, really pushing ahead as he comes into the last 20 metres. Going well, swimming alongside him in lane number 8, it is Nathan Wood. And coming into the last 5 metres now, Samuel Peck led from that breaststroke lead. He takes heat number 5 in a time of 4:52.79, fastest time so far in these heats. Second goes to Nathan Wood, 4:57.79, as well as third, lane 6, Dominic Johnson, 4:57.85. And these swimmers really did knock 9 seconds off their entry times. And so that's a very exciting heat number 5.
It was indeed, Jenny, and I can tell you a number of those swimmers did great times there. They really are swimming fantastically. They've worked all year round for it, so they really do deserve it.
And the official results are now on the scoreboard.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've been very honoured to have in the building this morning the Lord Mayor of Sheffield. That's Councillor Talib Hussain. Unfortunately, he's got to head off now, but I hope he's had fun. If you can put your hands together, please, to show your appreciation for his support this morning. So we move on to heat number 6. So we move on to the last heat before we go into the sickly seeded heats. This is heat number 6. And in lane 0, from Southport, is Paolo Muniz. Lane 1, from the City of Derby, Gregory Butler. Lane 2, from the City of Birmingham, Ryan Andrews. Lane 3, representing Braintree, Ollie Mills. Lane 4, from Gloucester, William Carter. Lane 5, from Ealing, Bryce Pizzette. Lane 6 from Cockermouth, Connor Joyce. Lane 7 from Nova Centurion, Reese Taylor. Lane 8 from Wirral Metro, Elliot Pickford. And in lane 9 from Kingston Royals, Dylan Conway. So they have seen at the time from the previous heat, and that was Samuel Peck, set a time of 4:52.7. But really nothing choosing between these 6 gentlemen in the middle lanes as they come up to the 100-metre mark. They'll be turning in about a 64. They do. William Carter from Gloucester, 64.21. That is slightly slower than the previous heat's 100-metre mark, but nonetheless a very, very good time. Now, these boys range between 15 years and 17 years of age, and they'll all be trying to get a place in tonight's final.
Going to read a little tweet out now from @Sharks and Shiz, and it says, "Come on, girls, read this out for me." So I did notice it. Give Harry Nichols and the rest of the Basildon Phoenix team luck for us. So, you know, if you really want to make sure your tweets get heard, do make sure you tag Sarah Price or I and use the hashtag ASA Nat 2015. And as we come on the second leg of this backstroke length, it is lane number 5, Bryce Prusett of Ealing leading the way here. At the halfway mark, he touches in a time of 2:16.7.
I can tell you that is 4/10 faster than the previous heat. And the battle is on now for these boys to make their mark to try and grab a place in tonight's final. Now, I can tell we've had a great tweet here from City of Peterborough. Boom! Great start to the meet by Christy Woods in the 200 metres freestyle. She qualifies 3rd for the final tonight. Great job. Good luck tonight, Christy. Chrissy? But we are back to the boys in the pool. And great turn there, slightly gliding in lane number 5, Bryce Pizzette. As they come in with just over 125 meters to go. But William Carter in lane number 4 is slowly coming back at his rivals. Ollie Mills, Braintree swimmer, is coming back stroke for stroke on Bryce Pizzette as they come in with just over 115 meters to go. A great third leg here by Ollie Mills. Has he left it too late, or has he got enough in the tank to bring him home? But the battle is on for those minor places in this heat. But they're not only minor places, they are spots for tonight's final. So come on, ladies and gentlemen, hands together. These two boys then, Bryce Pizzette and Ollie Mills, turning pretty much together. The better turn coming from the swimmer in lane number 5-4. That's William Carter is coming back stroke for stroke. But it will come down who can hit the wall on this turn, use the underwater, get up to the surface and sprint home.
And as we come into the final turn now, it is between lane 5 and 3, Bryce Pizzette and Ollie Mills. Better turn there from Bryce Pizzette in lane number 5. But they're really picking up his kick here. You can see his kick rate stronger than lane number 3 as we come into the final 25 meters of heat number 6.
They do indeed, but Bryce Pizzette breathing to the spectator side. I don't know if he knows that Ollie Mills is so close because he is coming back every single stroke. He looks like he is going to get on the touch. This is great tough swimming. Put your hands together for your winner of heat number 6. It is Bryce Pizzette in a 4:51.81. He swims for Ealing. Second place for the fast finisher from Braintree, Ollie Mills, 4:52.49. And the third place is Cockermouth swimmer Connor Joyce in a 4:56.45. Ladies and gentlemen, come on, put your hands together for some tough swimming in heat number 6. And the official results for heat number 6 are now shown on the scoreboard. We move on to heat number 7.
And we move on to the first of the cyclically seeded heats of the men's 400 metres individual medley. Heat number 7, swimming in lane 0 from Swim Stratford, Connor Bennett. In 1, swimming for Team Ipswich, Jack Pickering. In 2, Rushmore Royals swimmer Robert Griffiths. In 3, swimming for Windsor, Albert Caravis. In 4, representing Northampton, Adam Elkington. In 5, swimming for Louth, William McIntyre. In 6, representing Sport... In lane 6, representing Portsmouth North Sea, James Miller. In 7, swimming for Munster, Caden McCarthy. 8, representing Basildon Phoenix, Fraser Scott. And in 9, for South Links, Tom Mitchell. And it's lane number 7 there who had the fastest split time at the 100-metre butterfly. 63.07 to Caden McCarthy. Going well, though, alongside him in lane number 5, William McIntyre of Louth.
I can tell you, Jenny, that is now the fastest 100 split by 0.8 of a second. So we really are starting to get moving now. The heat is hotting up. The action is getting fiery. And there's still a good 5 or 6 boys in contention to take this heat. But the early leader then, they are from Louth, it is William McIntyre. But coming back stroke for stroke is lane number 7 from Munster, Caden McCarthy. But it's really not over yet because the breaststroke, the looming breaststroke is coming up.
And you've got to say, Sarah, Caden McCarthy is the only 15-year-old in this heat. He is the fastest 15-year-old entry time, and so he will definitely be looking for a place in tonight's final. But at the halfway mark, it is William McIntyre turning first there, 2:16.04.
It really is wonderful to see these swimmers swimming in with the big boys and not getting fazed by it at all. This is great experience for them and should give Caden a real big oomph as he moves into tonight's final. But lane number 5 then, it is a Louth swimmer, William McIntyre. I'm getting very excited here. And I can tell you at the 200 meter mark, these swimmers are 6/10 quicker than any previous heat. So they really are doing a fantastic job, but the boys are slowly crawling back on the Louth swimmer, William McIntyre. William McIntyre trying to hang on as they come in with 125 to go.
And it is a close race for currently the 2nd and 3rd positions, but going well in lane number 6, really picking up in this final breaststroke length. James Miller of Portsmouth Northsea. He's now body length behind the leader currently, William McIntyre, in lane 5. And we come into the last 100 metres now, currently leading the way. William McIntyre, 3:39.79 his split there. Good 3 seconds faster than the heat before.
Fantastic swimming here, and the battle is on for the fastest place in this heat, but then the minor places as well, because these boys really are trying to push all they can as they come into the last 15. They will be hurting at this point, but yet they've done enough training to keep the stroke rate up, the legs kicking as they come into the last 5 meters. And I can tell you, we've had a tweet from Nathan Wells to swim fast in the 400 IM. Throw the gauntlet down. He swims in heat number 9. So Jenny, we have 25 meters to go, and this is some great swimming by all of our swimmers.
It is definitely lane 6 now picking up the pace. James Miller of Portsmouth Northsea. He's just inching ahead as they have 10 metres left. It's very close between these two swimmers in lane 5 and 6. William McIntyre of Louth and James Miller. Who's going to take it at the touch? It is a William McIntyre of Louth in a time of 4:46.32. That's 2 seconds quicker than his entry time. Second place here, James Miller of Portsmouth Northsea, 4:46.77. And third, great final 100-metre swim from Albert Caravis of Windsor. He takes the 3rd position in Heat 7 in 4:48.7. And the official results are on the scoreboard. And we move on to Heat number 8, the penultimate heat.
Penultimate heat then of the men's open 400 IM. In lane 0, swimming for Boldmere, Joseph Stanger. Lane 1 for City of Derby, Ryan Reeder. Lane 2 from Stockport Metro, Samuel Goldrick. Lane 3 representing Derwentsside, Sam McCormick. Lane 4 representing the Borough of Kirklees, James Reedy. Lane 6 representing Middlesbrough, Jack Baster. Lane 6 representing City of Cambridge, Thomas Sarah. Lane 7 representing Wrekin College, William Slawson. And in lane 8 representing Birmingham is Lewis Robinson. And finishing up in lane number 9 representing Newcastle is James Rowe. So the fastest 100 split we've had so far is 63.07. That was in the previous heat. 63.07, and James Rowe from Newcastle really is setting the pace out there in lane number 9. 60.32. Ladies and gentlemen, this is storming swimming and some very fast water out near you, out in lane number 9. Now, these swimmers range between the age of 17 through to 22. And they will be looking for personal best times. Their entry times range from 4:41 through to 4:48.23. Now, Jenny, I'm going to put you on the spot. If you were to talk about the 400 IM and we were to talk about this heat, and I had to make you choose a winner at this stage, who looks like they've got the most energy?
Well, as we always say, the breaststroke leg is the decider. But I have to say, over in lane number 9, James Rowe is going very well.
He is indeed, Jenny, but out in lane 1, Ryan Reeder from the city of Derby. He saw his teammate Adam Peaty get a gold medal out of the World Championships yesterday. We will try and keep you up to date as the week commences out there and with the results. But some fantastic swimming by his teammate. Hopefully he's given him some tips for this breaststroke leg as they now reach the halfway mark. Then it's 2:12.23. Still our early leader, James Rowe from Newcastle, out there in lane number 9. But look already what's happening in the centre lane. He's your second fastest man on paper. He sits in lane number 4. The Borough of Kirklees swimmer James Reedy is coming through on every single stroke.
And as we come into the halfway mark of this breaststroke leg, it is James Rowe still leading the way, 2:53.07. James Reedy in lane 4, currently lying second, 2:54.28, his split time. And they're really feeling it now as they come down this second length. And these two swimmers way out in front of the rest of the field, good 5 meters ahead of lane number 1. Don't rule them out though. Lane 1, Ryan Reeder, City of Derby, swimming well. Also going well alongside him, Samuel Goldrick, Stockport. As we come into the final 100 meters now for heat number 8. And it's James Rowe turning first there, 3:34.66 seconds. James Reedy in lane 4, 3:35.45. And currently third, Samuel Goldrick. Good breaststroke leg from him, 3:39.25.
And I can give you a little bit of an update of what's happening out of the Worlds. Mr. Adam Peaty, he won his gold medal last night. He's just qualified second fastest into the 50 meters breaststroke semi-final. So some great swimming by our GB swimmers out there, but so are we having some fast swimming here as well. It's James Rowe. He is taking this heat and really making his mark. Starting to tire up here with 25 meters to go. So come on, ladies and gentlemen, get step behind him. He has an entry time of 4:48.23, and he is absolutely going to smash that. So let's bring our swimmers home. Let's give them an oomph as we go into the last 5 meters of this penultimate heat. It is going to be the Newcastle swimmer, James Rowe, in a 4:40.16. That is 8 seconds faster than his entry time. Great swimming by him. Second place goes to Borough of Kirklees swimmer James Reedy in a 4:44.74. And just 5 100s behind him is Jack Baster from Niddleton in a 4:55.79. And the results are now official and can be seen on the scoreboard. And we move on to the final heat of the Men's Open 400 IM, heat number 9. So we're just having a little bit of a delay, but we like to keep the boys on their toes. They've seen the times from before. 4:40.16 is the time to beat if these boys want to get a centre lane for tonight's final. And I can tell you we have a range of ages in the last heat, ranging from 17 through to 19. And I talked about those relays later on in this afternoon's session. And Enfield swim squad, just down the road from where I grew up, say they've got the 4x100 free coming up. And the boys, Sam, Reese, Josh and Benren, let's do it, boys, at the ASA Nationals. So we're ready to go now for heat number 9.
And we're on to the final heat of event 104, the men's 400 meters individual medley, heat number 9, and swimming in lane 0, representing Cockermouth, Edward Baxter. In a 1, his teammate, also from Cockermouth, Thomas Milburn. In 2, swimming for Wirral Metro, Thomas Nelson. In 3, representing Portsmouth North Sea, Oliver Jeremy. In 4, swimming for Ellesmere College, Hayden Griffiths. In 5, representing West Norfolk, Nathan Wells. In 6, swimming for Chase, Matthew Evans. In 7, from Thanet Swim, Jordan Honor. In 8, swimming for Gateshead and Wickham, Andrew Blackett. And in 9, completing the final heat, swimming for City of Leicester, Isaac Peace. And after the first 100 meters, it's Matthew Evans in lane number 6, 60.92. His first 100 meters butterfly split, just 0.6 of a second slower than the heat before. But there's several swimmers going well as we come down this first backstroke length. Picking up the pace here in lane number 3, Oliver Jeremy. But also going well alongside him in lane 4, Hayden Griffiths.
Absolutely, and the fastest man on paper is Ellesmere College's Hayden Griffiths. He has an entry time of 4:41.14. He would have seen the previous heat set the standard at 4:40.16. 2:12 then, 23 is the time to beat at the halfway mark. And these swimmers, you can see in the center lane, some great backstroke technique here, really rolling off the hips. The shoulders are getting out of the water on every stroke, and that head is as still as it can be. But I can tell you, Oliver Jeremy then, the Portsmouth North Sea swimmer, he's going to turn first at the halfway mark in a 2:12.14. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that is just a 10th quicker than the previous heat. Now, I know these boys have finals tonight, but all of these swimmers will be going for personal best times. So come on, put your support, put your voices on, give them a cheer, stamp your feet, give them a clap as they come into this very, very determined, difficult leg of the breaststroke leg.
Also coming up in lane number 7 is Jordan Honor, swimming well in this breaststroke length. He's trying to catch these 3 central lane boys as they come into the second length of the breaststroke. And in turning first there is Hayden Griffiths in lane 4, the center lane, 2:52.36. But really on his shoulder in lane number 5, Nathan Wells, really keeping up with him as they come down into the last final 20 meters of this breaststroke length.
Absolutely, and look what's happening in the center of the pool. Hayden Griffiths, Nathan Wells and Oliver Jeremy in a battle as they come up to the last 100 meters. So the time is 3:32.95. And I can tell you that is just under 2 seconds quicker than the previous heat. But look at the power in that leg kick from the swimmer in lane number 5, West Norfolk's Nathan Wells. He really has something left in this tank as he is storming down this leg. Now, Jenny, if I was to put a bet on here, like I said before, though, I'm not a betting woman, I may even go for lane number 5.
I'm backing you there. Lane number 5 looks pretty strong. That first 50 freestyle there, very good, and a good turn from him as they come into this final length of the 400 meters individual medley. We want to hear you cheering. These 3 boys have swum very hard today, and this is the final heat. So let's get behind these swimmers as they come into the last 20 meters. But it is a real fight for the finish between lane number 3, Oliver Jeremy, and lane 5, Nye from Wales. Last 5 meters down, it's all down to the touch after this, and it is Oliver Jeremy of Portsmouth North Sea who takes heat number 9 in a time of 4:35.53. That's a good 5-6 seconds faster than his entry time. Second place there in heat 9, Nathan Wells of West Norfolk, 4:35.83, and third place from Ellesmere College, Hayden Griffiths, in a time of 4:39.3. And the official results are on the scoreboard for heat number 9. And well done to all swimmers in event 104, the men's 400 meters individual medley. We are about to see the summary of the results on the scoreboard. There we are. They are now on the scoreboard. This will roll through all swimmers in their order of heats. And remember, top 10 of each age group will go through to the final as well as to reserves. So do make sure you have a look at the results to see where you placed.
So we move on to event 105, the Women's Open 200 meters individual medley. There are 7 heats of this event, and we start off with heat number 1. So we have 7 heats of this event, and we start off with heat number 1. In lane 0, from Bicester, Charlotte Wynne-Jones. Lane 1 from Barkenham and Dagenham, Samaya Chabney. Lane 2 from the City of Leeds, Paris Grenier. Lane 3 from Sevenside, Olivia Butler. Lane 4 representing Teddington, Anna Smale. Lane 5 representing Ellesmere College, Phoebe Townsend. Lane 6 representing Southport, Abby Jones. Lane 7 representing Warrington Warriors, Caitlin Shingler. Lane 8 representing Mount Kelly, Kaylee Decker. And in lane 9 representing Newquay, Jemima Grigg. So at the 50-metre mark then, Kaylee Decker from Mount Kelly, 30.39. Out there in lane number 8. But keep an eye on our swimmer in lane 0, that's Charlotte Wynne-Jones, as these 2 ladies will take the lead at the halfway mark. And it is Kaylee Decker, 108.47. That is the standard then set, 108.47. Carly Decker then, 13 years of age. And these ladies all range between 12 and 13 years of age.
And in this breaststroke leg, several girls coming back up now, all looking quite tight as we come down this third length. Going well in lane number 4, Anna Smell of Teddington. Also alongside her in lane 6, Abby Jones of Southport. Watch out for lane 1 though, Samara Chabini. She's swimming well as we come into the final meters of this breaststroke leg. All to play for in this last leg of the women's 200 meters IM. Turning first there was Anna Smell of Teddington in lane 4.
They are indeed. Lane 4 then, it is Anna Smell and Abby Jones from Southport in lane 6. Both of these ladies eyeing each other up as they come into the last 15 metres. But Anna Smell then, she's heading away. Teddington swimmer, coached by Edward Sinclair. She's going to take heat number 1. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for a great finish from Anna Smell, 2:31.06. Second place goes to Southport's Abby Jones, 2:31.67. And the early leader from Mount Kelly, Katie Decker, takes the third place in 2:32.96. And the results are now official from heat number 1 and can be seen on the scoreboard. And we move on to heat number 2.
We're on to heat number 2, swimming in lane 0, representing Enfield squad, Megan Moley. In 1, representing City of Peterborough, Anna Blakely. In 2, representing City of Coventry, Madeline Haw. In 3, swimming for City of Leeds, Zed Paniqua Gutierrez. In 4, also City of Leicester, Michaela Glenister. In 5, swimming for Brompton, Emily Ellis. In 6, swimming for Nova Centurion, Mia Fergie. In 7, for UEA Norwich, Honey Harvey. In 8, swimming for City of Peterborough, Mia Leach. And completing the lineup in 9, swimming for City of Bristol, Jessica Podger. And turning first there, it's Mia Fergie. After that butterfly leg, 31.66, her split time there. As we come down this backstroke leg, it is still Mia leading the way in lane 6, but going well in lane number 3. The City of Leeds swimmer, Zepanica Gutierrez.
So we are now well over halfway as we go into the breaststroke leg. And leading the way then, it's Mia Fergie from Nova Centurion, but coming back at her on every single stroke, it is Zed Panaguia Gutierrez. But these ladies really are in a line in heat number 2, and I certainly wouldn't want to call it at this stage. They are coming in with just over 50 metres to go. A great difference here as you look across the pool in their stroke speed. The stroke rate really does vary across the pool. But turning with 50 metres to go is lane number 3. That's a City of Leeds swimmer. She turns in a 1:54.68.
Yes, that's right. That's going very well, but also swimming well in the outside lanes in lanes 7 and 8. Honey Harvey of UEA Norwich and Mia Leach of City of Peterborough. They're coming up in the outside lane, but coming back with 25 metres to go. Lane number 4, Michaela Glenister, swimming very well. And it's a fight between these 4 girls as we come into the last 10 metres now. Looks like Michaela Glenister leads the way currently. Last 5 metres of this 200 metres IM. And it is Michaela Glenister of City of Leicester who takes heat number 2 in a time of 2:29.61. Second place there, the City of Leeds swimmer Paniqua Gutierrez, 2:30.7, and third, Honey Harvey, UEA Norwich, 2:31.05. And the official results are now on the scoreboard. We move on to heat 3.
So heat number 3 underway in lane 0, representing Nova Centurion, Summer Kennedy. Lane 1 representing Guildford City, Tilly Hanson-Hamilton. Lane 2 representing Borough of Barnsley, Libby Turner. Lane 3 representing Sevenoaks, Daisy Anderson. In lane 4 representing Nova Centurion, Jade Kennerall. Lane 5 representing Newbury, Ella Cowan. Lane 6 representing Havant and Waterlooville, Elena Ward. Lane 7, representing Staines, Lucy Drinkle. And in lane 8, representing City of Leeds, Tia Ward. And rounding us up in lane number 9 is City of Peterborough swimmer, Holly Jaskowekskis. And we really do have about 6 swimmers all in a line here. The previous heat then 2:29.61. Now these swimmers all range between the ages of 12 and 14. In fact, we have our last 12-year-old in this heat, and she is up there in lane number 8 doing extremely well. That's City of Leeds swimmer Tia Ward, just 12 years of age. She turns first, setting the standard there in a 68.39. Great swimming by Tia, just 12 years of age. Fantastic gutsy swim here, and she really isn't letting anything off as these swimmers are coming back at her stroke for stroke.
And they are indeed going well in lane number 3, Daisy Anderson of Sevenoaks. Also alongside her in lanes 4 and 5, Jade Kennerell and Eleanor Cohen, swimming well as we come down this breaststroke length. But still Tia Ward, the only 12-year-old left, still leading the way. Oh, she just gets pipped there by Jade Kennerell from Nova Centurion in lane 4, but we still got a length left. And Tia really pushing ahead now as she comes into the last 30 meters. About a body length ahead of lane 4, Jade Kennerell, as we now in this final length, and there's several girls pushing back. Lane number 5, Eleanor Cohen, swimming well as we come into the last 20 meters.
So Tia Ward then, our 12-year-old, is going to take this heat in a phenomenal style. She touches home in 2:27.34. Great swimming by her. That's faster than her entry time. Second place goes to Newbury swimmer Eleanor Cohen, 2:29.71. And the third place goes to Sevenoaks swimmer Daisy Anderson, 2:30.23. Fantastic swimming there, and the results are now official and can be seen on the scoreboard. So we move on to heat number 4. So remember, we are streaming the ASA National Championships live on www.swimming.org/ASA Nationals. And you can hear mine and Jenny's lovely dulcet tones and watch some fantastic fast swimming. This will be scheduled all throughout the week in both heats and finals. So make sure you tune in to www.swimming.org/ASA Nationals. And watch you swimmers do extremely well. Also remember, we've got that Twitter hashtag, that's hashtag ASANat2015. So keep them coming in. So we're ready to start again, and we move on to heat number 4.
On to heat number 4 of the women's 200 metres individual medley. In lane 0, swimming for City of Leeds, Victoria Nant. In 1, representing Exeter City, Emily Eveling. In 2, her teammate, Alaya Mai Webb. In 3, representing Hatfield, Laura Copping. In 4, representing City of Leicester, Daisy Platts. In 5, swimming for Clevedon, Amelia Chappell. In 6, swimming for Burnley Bobcats, Ellie Taylor. In 7, representing City of Birmingham, Alexandra Bartley. In 8, swimming for Havant and Waterlooville, Elizabeth Elms. And in 9, representing Beckenham, Lauren Braddon.
So we have just edging away at the moment is a Clevedon swimmer, Amelia Chappell. And a lovely little spearhead formation happening just off centre of the pool. Halfway mark then, I can tell you the fastest time so far is 68.39, and these ladies are underneath that in a 67.64. Just 3/10 then separating Amelia Chappell and Daisy Platts as they come in to the breaststroke leg. But look at the difference of strokes here. A lovely, long, strong stroke by Daisy Platts from the city of Leicester. And what a difference that's making already at 25 metres.
Going well, though, in lane number 1, Emily Eveling and her teammate alongside her, Elia Mai Webb. You see these green hats coming up on the right-hand side of the pool. Also swimming very well over in lane number 8, Elizabeth Elms from Havant and Waterlooville. And turning first here, it is Elizabeth Elms, 153.52. As we come into the final 50 metres of this 200 metres individual medley. So it's still Elizabeth Elms leading the way, 25 metres to go, and then currently in second place in lane number 1, Emily Eveling. These two girls just about a body length ahead of the rest of the field. Very close race for this third place in this heat number 4. As we come into the last 5 metres now, it looks like it is Emily Eveling in lane number 1, takes in time of 2:28.12. Second there, Elizabeth Elms in lane number 8, 2:28.26. And third, Laura Copping from Hatfield, 2:29.3. And the official results are on the scoreboard for heat number 4. We move on to heat 5.
So we are on to the first of the 60 seeded heats. Heat number 5 in lane 0, representing Guildford City, Rosanna Arnold. Lane 1, representing Maxwell, Ruth Bridgman. Lane 2, representing Romford Town, Holly Hildrew. Lane 3, Nova Centurions, Imogen Gould. Lane 4, from the Royal Wolverhampton School, Holly Shepherd. Lane 5, from Doncaster Darts, Shannon Dodson. Lane 6, representing the City of Peterborough, Molly Allen. Lane 7, representing the City of Sheffield, Amy Treslove. Lane 8, representing Plymouth Leander, Tegan Frizzell. And in lane 9, representing Brompton, Spencer Williams. So 29.35 is the time at 50 metres. And I can tell you the fastest time so far has actually come from heat number 3. That's 2:27.34. And about 5 swimmers in contention. But the halfway mark then, it's Doncaster Darts swimmer, Shannon Dodson, 65.33. And that is the fastest split so far this morning. These swimmers range between 15 years and 20 years of age.
And as we come in this breaststroke leg, swimming well in lane number 1, Ruth Bridgman of Maxwell. She's really pushing forward here as we come down into the last 25 metres of this breaststroke leg. Going well, though, in lane number 3, Imogen Gould of Nova Centurion, just inching ahead of lane 4, who's on her shoulder, Holly Shepherd. And it's a tough race between these girls. Very close as we come into the last 50 metres freestyle.
Indeed we do, and the swimmer in lane number 3, that is Nova Centurions, Imogen Gould then, taking the lead. But coming back at her on every single stroke is Shannon Dodson. 1:50 was her time, 1:49 was Holly Shepherd, and the fastest time so far is 2:27. These ladies really need to put some power in there now if they want a centre lane for tonight's final. Put your hands together then, ladies and gentlemen, as we finish heat number 5, and the winner is Holly Shepherd from Royal Wolverhampton, 2:23.34. The second place goes to Imogen Gold from Nova Centurion. And the third place goes to Shannon Dodson from Doncaster Darts, 2:24.27. The results are now official and can be seen on the scoreboard. We move on to heat number 6.
We move on to the penultimate heat of the women's 200 metres individual medley. Swimming in lane 0, Keelan Fitton. In 1, representing Portsmouth North Sea, Emma Trotman. In 2, representing Deventio, Chloe Bates. In 3, City of Manchester Aquatics swimmer Rihanna Bennett. In 4, representing City of Salford, Katie McCarthy. In 5, swimming for Hatfield, Philippa Shuttleworth. Lane 6, from Team Ipswich, Dolly Trigg. In 7, representing Chester Le Street, Gabrielle Burdes. In 8, swimming for City of Birmingham, Kate Davies. And in 9, representing City of Liverpool, Matea J. Oliver. And it is Casey McCarthy in lane number 4, fastest split there for her 50 metres butterfly, 30.11. But coming back at her in this backstroke leg in lane number 6, Dolly Trigg from Team Ipswich. As we come to the halfway mark now, it is Dolly Trigg leading the way, 67.2.
Now that is slightly slower than the previous heats, but I wouldn't worry about that because look at the breaststroke from the swimmer in lane number 4, Katie McCarthy. She had by far the best start from all of our swimmers, took a good body length up on any other swimmer, and she's just easing her way away here as she comes in with just 15 metres to go of this leg, and the battle now commences for those minor places, but I really wouldn't want to call it at this stage. Now we have 50 metres to go. Fastest split so far, 150. And these are guys turning a 1:48.04 then. Katie McCarthy, City of Manchester Aquatics. No, she's not, sorry, City of Salford. 18 years of age. She's certainly going to take this heat, but coming back at her and trying to get a little bit of oomph up on her is Dolly Trigg from Team Ipswich. She is coming back straight for straight, but she's left it just a little bit too late, but hopefully she will get a place in tonight's final. But coming then in the last 5 metres, it is going to be the City of Salford swimmer, Katie McCarthy. She touches home in a 2:23.28. So Katie McCarthy, City of Salford, takes that heat on a 2:23.28. Second is Team Ipswich swimmer, Dolly Trigg, 2:25.71. And Chloe Bates from Deventio, 2:26.33.
I'll do that.
The official results can now be seen on the scoreboard.
We move on to the final heat of the event 105, the women's 200 metres individual medley, heat 7.
So we move on to the final heat then. It is heat number 7. In lane 0, representing the City of Sunderland, Rachel Taylor. Lane 1, representing Guildford City, Katie Hodgson. In 2, swimming for Royal Wolverhampton, Courtney Price. Lane 3, from Newcastle, Lucy Howarth. Lane 4, representing the City of Oxford, Elizabeth Oliver. Lane 5, representing Derwentside, Rachel Wilson. Lane 6, representing London Aquatics, Holly Wally. Lane 7, representing Guildford City, Ella Windle. Lane 8, representing York City, Annie Johnson. And in lane 9, representing Northampton, Olivia Tatton.
Holly Wiley of London Aquatics in lane number 6, turning for us there at with a 30.47. And we have a tweet from Georgia Smith saying, "Go Ella Windle and Katie Hodgson in heat number 8 of the 200 meters individual medley. It's go Guildford, hashtag green team, hashtag double trouble." And so both swimmers here in this final heat. At the halfway mark there, Elizabeth Oliver, City of Oxford, turning in 67.15. Just 0.5 ahead of the heat before. So these guys are also looking for a quick time. They saw Casey McCarthy touching their 2:23.28, fastest time so far, and will be looking to post quicker times or similar times to get through to tonight's final.
So with just over 50 meters to go, and it really is anyone's race in this final heat. Our ladies do range between the age of 15 and 27. And at the moment, it is our experienced swimmer, Rachel Wilson from Derwentsside. She has an entry time of 2:24.28.
And she's now a body length ahead of the rest of the field as we come into the last 15 meters. Close next to her in lane number 4, Elizabeth Oliver, City of Oxford, and lane 3, Courtney Price, and 2, Katie Hodgson, really fighting for the second and third position. But it's Rachel Wilson of Derwentsside who takes heat number 7 in a time of 2:22.9, the fastest time in this event. Second, Courtney Price in a time of 2:24.82, and third, Elizabeth Oliver, 2:25.08. And the official results are on the scoreboard. We want to congratulate all swimmers. Well done in the event 105, the women's 200 meters individual medley. The summary of the results are now on the scoreboard. Do make sure you go check where you've placed. The top 10 swimmers and 2 reserves will go through to finals tonight.
So we move on to event 106, the men's multi-classification 200 meters freestyle. There are 2 heats, and we start with heat number 1.
We're on to heat number 1 of event 106, the men's 200 meters freestyle multiple classification. All swimmers in this event are S14 category, and currently in lane 3 for Carradon, it's Cameron Verncombe. In lane 4, swimming for Rotherham, Joseph Sieg. And in 5, representing City of Sunderland, Gareth Orr. Now, I heard a cheer for Cameron just now when I mentioned his name, but we would like you all to cheer behind all these swimmers today. They are swimming very hard and very fast. So, as we come down the second length, it is Gareth Orr over in lane number 5, leading the way, about a half a body length ahead of Joseph Sieg in lane number 4.
And what a battle we do have on here. So 31.07 was the time set at 50 meters, and the halfway mark stands at 66.16. Just one more heat to go after this one. And we have a range of ages throughout this event, from 12 all the way through to 22. Cameron Verncombe then in lane number 3, just 13 years of age. Gareth Orr, lane number 5, is our oldest competitor at 22, and Joseph Surge, who is just behind Gareth at the moment, is 16 years of age. So these swimmers then, they swim across the country. They're looking for personal best times, and let's give them a good shout as they come into their last 50 meters. These boys will have a final tonight, so these swimmers will want to be getting a place in that final. And we need to cheer them as they find all the energy they can with just 25 meters to go.
And in the last 25 meters now, Joseph Sieg in lane number 4, really battling and catching up with Gareth Orr in lane 5. This is a tight finish between these two swimmers in heat number 1. We've got 10 meters to go. Really cheer on these guys. This is a big, strong finish from Joseph Sieg in lane 4, and he does take heat number 1 in a time of 2:24.07. And the official results are on the scoreboard. And we move on to the final heat of event 106, the men's multi-classification 200 meters freestyle, heat 2.
So the final heat of the men's multi-classification 200 meters freestyle. In lane 1, swimming for Woking, Connor Lockwood. Lane 2, swimming for the City of Coventry, Joshua Fairchild. Lane 3, from Basildon Phoenix, Callum Hodgson. Lane 4, from the City of Oxford, Christopher Curry. Lane 5, swimming for City of Salford, Jack Sheffield. Lane 6, representing Littlehampton, Caleb Grace. Lane 7, representing UEA Norwich, Joshua Wells. And in lane 8, representing Leicester Penguins, Connor Freeman. So the 50-meter mark was 31.07, so these swimmers just slightly down on that. Now all of these swimmers are S14, so we can look at the times. And it will be the fastest swimmers into the final, as this is all S14. If we were to have a multi-classification, finalists would be then determined by the British Para Swimming Point System. And according to the competitors' classification. But our early leader then, Jenny, it is the swimmer in lane number 4, that's Christopher Curry. He turns in a 68.37.
He is definitely leading the way now. Clear water, 5 meters ahead of the rest of the field. There's 4 swimmers looking for those second and third place finishes, but like you said, they'll all be looking for quick times to get through to tonight's final. And it's the final turn now for lane number 4, Christopher Curry, City of Oxford, 1:44.66 as he comes into the last 50 meters. Very close between lane 2, Joshua Fairchild, lane 3, Callum Hodgson, and in lane 5, Jack Sheffield. They're all vying for the second and third place finishes. Doesn't look like they'll be able to catch Christopher Curry as he comes into the last 15 meters of this 200 meters freestyle.
He is indeed, and he is leading the way, and what a standard he's setting as he takes this final heat in a 2:21.57 for Christy Curry from the City of Oxford. That's 567 points. I can tell you the second place goes to the swimmer in lane number 8, 2:24.68, Connor Freeman. And we're just keeping an eye on the scoreboard. So as they are all S14, we can look at the times, as it will be the fastest swimmers into tonight's final. But come on, ladies and gentlemen, we still have a swimmer in lane number 8, Connor Freeman. He still has 15 meters to go, and I can tell you, Connor is Connor is 14 years of age. So put your hands together as he comes in to his last 5 meters. So the results are official and can be seen on the scoreboard. So we move on to the next event. It's event 107, the women's multi-classification 200 meters freestyle. And ladies and gentlemen, this is a heat declared winner event.
So in this heat declared winner event, the women's multi-classification 200 meters freestyle, swimming in lane 3, representing the city of Milton Keynes, Lucy Chenery. In lane 4, swimming for Basildon Phoenix, Danielle Hartin. And in 5, swimming for Kingston Hull, Natalie Moon. And we've got 2 20-year-old swimmers here and 1 13-year-old. That's Danielle Hartin in lane number 4. And she is currently leading the way in this 200 meters freestyle. And as this is a heat declared winner event, it will be, as there are 3 swimmers, the top 2 swimmers will medal. And all of these swimmers are S14, so we can go based on their times as they are in the same category. And we're coming up to 100 meters now, and Danielle Hartin really leading the way. Her split time at the 50-meter mark, 34.01. And halfway, she turns now 112.32.
Fantastic swimming here by Danielle Hartin. She is just 13 years of age, swimming down there at the Basildon Phoenix Club, coached by Doug Campbell. He'll be very proud of his swimmer here as she's coming in with just over 50 meters to go. So we will be presenting these medals after event 109. And remember, this is their final. So come on, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Give them a cheer as they come into the last 50 meters. So it is Danielle Hartin then. She turns in a 152.42, but the battle is on for who's going to get the second medal. Is it between Natalie Moon or will it be Lucy Chenery? And at the moment, it is just Natalie Moon ahead of City of Milton Keynes swimmer Lucy Chenery. But I'll tell you what, Jenny, this is some fantastic swimming by Danielle.
Phenomenal swimming. She keeps pulling away even as she's coming into the last 20 meters now, really picking up her kick as she hits 10 meters. And we expect a pretty quick time from her as she comes into touch, and she will take this event in a time of 2:29.84. That's 594 points for the S14 category. And coming in a second there, Natalie Moon from Kingston Hull, 2:42.21, and third Lucy Chenery from City of Milton Keynes, 2:44.65. The official results of this event is now on the scoreboard. So the event 107, a women's multi-classification 200 meters freestyle heat declare winner results are on the scoreboard. Congratulations to all swimmers. We move on to event 108, the men's 14 to 16 years 400 meters freestyle relay team. We have 2 heats. Heat number 1.
So we have 2 heats then of the men's 14 to 16 years 400 freestyle team. And in lane 0, the team from Bracknell and Wokingham. In lane 1, Rushmere Royals. Lane 2, Woking. Lane 3, Mount Kelly. Lane 4, Plymouth Leander A team. Lane 5, Guildford City. Lane 6, Aqua Sulis. Lane 7, Enfield squad. And in lane 8, Seven Oaks. Now remember, ladies and gentlemen, the second fastest team is actually in this heat in lane number 4. So we are seeding these heats. Keep an eye on the scoreboard because that will tell you the swimmer's name. And in lane number 8, what a storming swim Michael Jacobs is having to hand over to his teammate. Wonderful start by the Seven Oaks team.
53.01 there for Seven Oaks in lane 8. Good 5 meters ahead now. Michael Jacobs giving Sebastian Stewart a very good lead. But all these other swimmers in this relay of heat number 1 are really fighting back as we come down this second leg. Going well in lane number 7. Samuel Pereira of Enfield squad. But it is Sebastian Stewart still leading the way for Seven Oaks in lane 8.
And I love the relays because a lot of these swimmers would have already swum in this session. So they will be tired, but there's nothing like the adrenaline rush that you get when you're swimming for your team. And already the lead has changed. And look at what's happening up there in lane number 7. The Enfield squad, the North London team, are just taking this by storm as they hand over then. Samuel Perrier hands over to his teammate. And I can tell you in the water now is Beng Sui. And he's going to want to give his team a good lead. But look at what's happening in the centre lanes, Jenny, as lane 5 and lane 4 are coming back stroke for stroke.
Absolutely, they are coming back. But also, don't forget lane 0, swimming now Sebastian Blackwell. Very well as they come up hitting their halfway mark of this leg. Still leading the way, Beng Slew of Enfield. His split there, the 2:19.17, but it is lanes 4 and 5 really turning up the heat. Lane 4, Plymouth Leander swimmer Alexander Raw really pushing ahead as he comes into the last 20 meters of his leg.
Absolutely, and Alexander Raw will hand over to Oscar Brain for Plymouth Leander A team, and these boys look like they have a body length up. A great takeover, though, by the team in lane number 5. That's Mount Kelly. And in the water for them is Alex Seymour. So at the moment, though, it is Plymouth Leander. But the North London team, Enfield squad, are trying to hang on. And here comes the team from Bracknell and Wokingham. And I can tell you, swimming for them is Aaron Dunbar. He really did get a great start as they have now put themselves back into contention. Remember, there are just 10 lanes ready for this tonight's final, and they will all want to be getting a squat. But look at Plymouth Leander, a lovely strong stroke there, looking to slightly ease up actually as they're coming into the last 25 meters. Seem to be doing just what they need to do to put themselves into a centre lane. But Enfield squad coming back, and also the team in lane number 2, Woking.
And it is last 5 meters now. Plymouth Leander, great third leg from them. They take heat number 1 in a time of 3:44.61. That's now the time to beat. In lane second place was Enfield, 3:45.90. And third, Woking in lane 2, 3:46.95.
That really was some exciting swimming there. And those results are now official, and they can be seen on the scoreboard. Move on to the final heat then, heat number 2.
We're into the final heat of event 108, the men's 14 to 16 years, 400 meters freestyle relay. Time set before in that previous heat, 3:44.61. These teams will have seen it and they'll be looking to beat it. So in lane 0, Wirral Metro. Lane 1, Exeter City. In 2, Team Marcia. In 3, Northampton. In 4, City of Derby. In lane 5, Chester Le Street. Lane 6, the team from Portsmouth North Sea. In 7, Basildon and Phoenix. In 8, Wigan. And in 9, Borough of Harrow.
So the time set We had the fastest of 53.01, but it really doesn't mean anything because all of these teams would have been very tactical and chosen when to put their swimmers. Some people like to put their swimmers up front on legs 1 and 2, and others like to keep their fastest swimmer for the final leg. So we have in lane number 4 then, it is the City of Derby swimmer. They really have got on a high at the moment as Adam Peaty, their teammate, coached by Melanie Marshall, won a gold out at the World Championships. And they have about 2 body lengths up on their nearest rival.
And it is George Cooper of City of Derby leading the way in lane number 4. Going well in lane number 1, Thomas Downs from Exeter City. About 5 meters behind him, but on his shoulder in lane 0 is Connor Harwood of Wirral Metro. But this all could change as we come up to the halfway mark. It is George Cooper leading the way, 1:49.26, his split there. That's 2 seconds quicker than the previous heat. They'll be looking to clock quick times to go through to tonight's final.
And a great takeover there by Exeter City, 150.78. And I can tell you those 2 teams are quicker than the previous heat. But again, remember, it really doesn't matter because these teams may have been very tactical in where they've placed their swimmers. Some of these teams as well may replace some of their swimmers for tonight's final, which is what makes the relays ever so exciting. Lane number 3, then Northampton also putting themselves back into contention. They now are starting to come through. They weren't really contenders at the beginning, but they certainly are now. They have just over 100 meters to go, though. It is City of Derby's Shay Bradley still leading the way as he hands over to teammate Carl Swanwick for the last 100 meters.
And it is final 100 meters now. Lane number 4, City of Derby, led from the beginning, and they're still leading the way, is lane 3's Northampton. Are they able to catch them? Their swimmer there, Daniel Savage, really coming up strong in this last 100 meters. Also going well in lane number 1, Exeter City's James Walmsley. But it is now final 50 meters for City of Derby's Kyle Swanwick leading the way. His turn there, 3:13.04, just 0.9 ahead of lane number 3, Northampton. And it is Northampton who is really picking up the pace in this final 25 meters, really inching ahead, now about half a body length ahead of Daniel Savage, now half a body length ahead of Kyle Swanwick as we come into the last 5 meters of heat number 2. And it is Northampton who take heat number 2 in a time of 3:42.10. That's 2 seconds ahead of the previous heat. Second is City of Derby, 3:43.4. And third, Exeter City, 3:46.43. Very exciting race there for heat number 2. And the official results are now on the scoreboard. Congratulations to all relays in that men's 14 to 16 years. And the summary is on the scoreboard, so you'll see the top 10 teams go through to tonight's final.
So we move on to event 109, the men's 17 years and over, 400 meters, a freestyle team. There are 2 heats, and we start off with heat number 1. There are 2 heats of this event. In lane 0, Hatfield. Lane 1, Staines. 2, Guildford City. 3, Windsor. 4, Plymouth Leander A team. 5, Ealing. 6, Thanet. 7, Harlow Penguins. And in 8, the team from Chase. So they have seen the time set by the younger boys. So the boys will want to be putting in faster swimmers. A lot of pride here They want to be doing the best for their teammates. And we've got the second fastest team on paper in lane number 4, Plymouth Leander A team. And keep an eye on the next heat as the team from City of Coventry will want to be getting a centre lane. But it looks like it is lane number 7, Harlow Penguins. They hand over at the 100-metre marks at 52.87. Now that is quicker than the younger age group by about 0.2 of a second.
But it's still a very close race between most of the teams in this field. Going well in lane number 4, Daniel Jones for Plymouth Leander. He's really picking up the pace as he comes down to turn for his final 50. He turns first there, leading the way Plymouth Leander. Second currently Tudor Pusa in lane number 5 for Ealing. But also still going well out in lane number 7 is Harlow Penguins. But Plymouth Leander really showing their strength now as he comes down his second length. 10 metres to go for Daniel Jones. Body length ahead of the rest of the field, really giving his teammate going third, Robert Fannin, a good start.
Is indeed, but a great underwater kick there by the team from Ealing, and that swimmer, I can tell you, is in the water. He is Hugo Mateus, and that was a fantastic underwater. His coach, Dave Heathcock, will be very proud of him. But it is Plymouth Leander A team at the moment with just 150 metres to go for the whole of the team. And we have a medal presentation coming up after this event. And I mentioned it before, we have some USB sticks on sale throughout the week. And you can grab as many as you like, just for a very small fee. £10 if you want one. And if you want 6, we get them for a bargain of £50. And we also have some limited edition tins to put them in while stocks last. So we hand over them with 100 metres to go. Plymouth Leander 239.67. And closely behind them, the team from Ealing 241.50.
And it's John Slater of Plymouth Leander leading the way now for his team in the centre lane in lane number 4. Going well, currently lying in second place in lane number 5, Aaron Pullen for Ealing. Don't forget though lane number 0, who currently lie in third place. That's Joshua Duggan of Hatfield, bringing his team up into third. As we come into the last 25 metres now, Plymouth Leander, John Slater looking like he's slowing up a bit as he comes to the last 50 metres. Saving his energy for the final maybe, if his team gets through, which looks like it, as they currently lie in first place with 5 metres to go. So it is Plymouth Leander who take heat number 1, 3:33.36. Lane number 2. Then second is lane 0, Hatfield, 3:35.61. And third, Ealing, 3:35.75. And the official results are on the scoreboard. We move on to the final heat of event 109. Event 109, the men's 17 years and over, 400 metres freestyle relay, heat number 2. We're on to heat number 2, swimming in lane 0, Shrewsbury, lane 1, Northampton, in 2, Cockermouth, in 3, Newcastle, lane 4, City of Coventry, in 5, Basildon and Phoenix, in 6, Bolton Metro, in 7, Hemel Hempstead, in 8, Exeter City, and in 9, Teddington.
So these guys have seen the standard set by the previous heat, Plymouth Leander A at 3:33.36. But the fastest team on paper is the team from City of Coventry. And in the water for them is Joe Evans. Joe Evans will hand over to Samuel Richards. But at the moment, they're not having it their own way, because touching first in lane number 2 is the Cockermouth team in Luke Greenbank, 52.29. Luke, we have had some successful years over the past, so we expect him to put a fast leg in. Now, I can tell you we've got a birthday in the pool today. The swimmer who will be swimming the last leg for the City of Coventry, Charlie Waddingham. It is his birthday today, so happy birthday, Charlie. But at the moment then, we have 4 teams in a line with 5 teams in a line, Jenny. It's just getting too exciting.
It is very exciting as we come down this second length, and currently in first place, Cockermouth. They're still leading the way. But fighting back, City of Coventry in lane number 4, just inching ahead of these other boys who are currently vying for this second and third place position. As we come to the halfway mark, it is Cockermouth who lead the way. Oliver Smith there, 1:45.49. Second, currently City of Coventry, and then third, Basildon Phoenix in 5. But it's all still to play for, as we still got another swimmer after this.
Absolutely. So Charles McSkeen is in the water for Cockermouth. So in for Coventry then, it is Thomas Herbert. But Cockermouth have a good body length and a half up from their nearest rivals. But great technique there by 5 of the teams, really using that underwater and making sure they fly kick up as they come into their last 50. But here comes the City of Coventry starting to come back. But it is still the team from Cockermouth as they hand over to their final swimmer. They are a body length ahead. Let's give all of these teams a cheer. Some of them would have already swum this morning. They may be slightly tired, but they all want a place for tonight's final.
Thomas Milburn in now for Cockermouth. He knows he's leading. Will he be able to keep ahead of the rest of the teams of Coventry, Basildon and Phoenix? And lane number 6, Bolton Metro. Don't forget though, lane 3, also really want to push for it, Newcastle. But it is final turn now for Thomas Milburn of Cockermouth in lane number 2. Good underwater work there from lane number 5, Basildon Phoenix's Connor Harold. He now enters his team about half a body length ahead of the Coventry swimmer in lane number 4. That's Charlie Waddingham. And both these swimmers really pushing ahead, trying to catch down the Cockermouth team in lane number 2. They've got 10 meters to go, all to swim for in this final, but it will be Cockermouth's team. Thomas Milburn touching there, 3:33.68. They take heat number 2. Second, Basildon Phoenix, 3:34.33. And third, City of Coventry, 3:34.91. These teams were all looking for their place in tonight's final. Congratulations to all swimmers. And the official results are now on the scoreboard for heat number 2.
And a summary of that event can be seen on the scoreboard. So we move on to event 110, the women's 14 to 16 years 400 meters freestyle team. Heat number 1. Two heats then of the women's 14 to 16 years 400 meters freestyle team. In heat number 1, lane 1 is the team from Woking. In lane 1, Western Supermare. In lane 2, Plymouth Leander A. Lane 3, Camden Swiss Cottage. Lane 4, Thanet Swim. Lane 5, Southport. Lane 6, Beckenham. Lane 7, Romford Town. Lane 8, Pioneer 79. And in lane 9, Guildford City. Can we please have the coach from Hemel Hempstead to the timing suite immediately? That's the coach from Hemel Hempstead to the timing suite immediately. Thank you.
And it's the team from Southport leading the way. Emma Whittingham in lane number 5. She touches there her split time 58.71 for this first 100. Going well alongside her in lane number 6 from Beckenham. The team from Beckenham is 59.73. Their split there for Tamara Ellis-Elliott.
A lovely bright costume over in lane number 5. Can certainly see that team coming a mile off, can't you? It's the team from Southport. And swimming for them in lane number 5 is Anna Neven. She has about half a body length up from her nearest rivals, but a very long but powerful stroke coming from the team in lane number 6. That's Beckenham. Really using that underwater. Coached by Tony Beckley. But at the moment it is the team from Southport as they come into the halfway mark. They have 3/4 of a body length up from Romford Town, followed very closely by Beckenham and Thanet. But turning halfway then it is lane number 5. Anna Neven touches her team at a 2:01.23.
And in that length, several teams really pulling back now and chasing down the lead in this third leg. And this is why I really love relays, because it's always ever changing and you know you can always count on it to be a very exciting race. And leading the way here, lane number 4, it's Robin Moon. Her turn there, taking them into the lead, 2:31.03. And coming back though, lane number 2, Plymouth Leander A team. Currently, Yasmin Boff really chasing down the lead as we come into the final swimmer.
Absolutely, Yasmin Boff then really making her move as she hands over to her teammate. And I can tell you that is going to be Rosemary Whittaker. She's now in the water, but a great takeover there by the swimmer in lane number 4. Thanet Swim should be very proud of their takeovers, as that was phenomenal. But Thanet against Plymouth Leander then. But coming back as well, it's still trying to keep in contention as Pioneer 79. Now these ladies have just over 50 meters to go. We have one more heat after this, and all of these teams will be wanting to book their place. Now Thanet Swim are the second fastest team on paper, so we expect them to be sitting where they are. But this is also a great swim from Pioneer 79 and Plymouth Leander. And also coming back stroke for stroke is Western Supermare swimmer, and I can tell you that is Even King. She's had a great history at the age group championships, and she's really putting in a great thing here as she will touch home second for her team. But leading the way, it is going to be Thanet Swim. They touch home in a 4:01.84. Second place goes to the fast finishers, Western Supermare, 4:02.98. And the third place goes to Plymouth Leander A team, 4:03.91. The results are now official for that heat and can be seen on the scoreboard. Heat number 2.
We move on to the final heat of event 110, the women's 14-16 years 400 meters freestyle relay. In heat 2, lane 0 swimming pool. In 1, Northampton. In 2, Stockport Metro. In 3, Bishop Stortford. In 4, Rushmore Royals. In 5, Daventurio's Cell. In 6, City of Manchester. In 7, Sains. 8, Borough of Kirklees. And in 9, Burnley Bobcats. And it is Daventure's swimmer in lane number 5, Imogen Clark, leading the way there. Her split time there, 28.17. Going well alongside her in lane number 4, Grace Kinnell of Rushmore Royals. These two about body length ahead as we come up to the end of the first leg. And it is, they touch in equal time, 59.35. Both Grace Kinnell and Imogen Clark, 59.35 in their first split. But it is lane number 4, Rushmore Royals, who has a better start here for her second leg.
Well, that's great to see two swimmers under that magic minute mark. I'm sure we'll see a few more in tonight's final. And again, these teams have the option to change around their order in tonight's final. They can even swap some of the swimmers in. So it'd be interesting to see what happens later on. So keep an eye on the names in this morning's heats and then have a quick look at tonight's finals and see who has changed over. But leading the way by a good 2 body lengths is the team from Rushmere Royals. And I can tell you the halfway mark in the previous heat was 2:01.23. So that was Thanet Swim. So Rushmere Royals now, they will turn quicker than that. Under 2 minutes, this really is some great swimming. 1:58.24. Daventure XL then just slightly behind at a 2:01.86, and 3 100s behind them is City of Manchester Aquatics.
You're absolutely right. It's getting very close between 7 teams as they come down their third leg. It is lane number 4, Lucy Sturton for Rushmore Royals, leading the way. 2:27.86 there in her split. She's got 25 meters to go, but it's very tight between these other girls vying for a second and third place finish. They'll also be looking to post quick times to get their team through to tonight's final. And currently lying in second place, Chloe Bates of Daventure Excel, but alongside her, really chasing her down in lane number 6, City of Manchester's Rebecca Loft. But it is Lucy Sturton who touches first there for Rushmore Royals, 3:58. It's a good 2 seconds ahead of the fastest team in the previous heat.
So the fastest team was 4:01.84. Rushmere Royals leading the way, slightly behind them, then Daventure XL, and down in lane number 1, Northampton starting to come back. Also in the mix is City of Manchester Aquatics, but Rushmere Royals look like they may just be under threat for that lead. There's a fantastic turn there in lane number 5. That's Daventure XL swimmer, that's Abby Wood, as she really is coming back, and the swimmer in lane number 4 really needs to keep an eye on her. That's Samantha Gurley, and City of Manchester Aquatics will grab themselves definitely one of the centre lanes. It's just between whether it will be lane 4 or lane 5. These swimmers come into their last 5 meters then as they take heat number 2, and the winner will be 4:01.83 for Daventure XL. The second place is 4:03.39, Rushmere Royals. And the third place goes to Northampton at 4:03.87. Congratulations, ladies. So we are waiting for the official results, and we're moving on to the medal ceremony for the women's multi-classification 200 freestyle. And I can tell you over this week we'll be giving away 696 medals across 206 events. So a lot of swimmers trying to get a medal, and we really need to ensure that we do keep cheering them on and giving them all the support that they can. So over 6 days, we'll be giving 696 medals over 206 swimmers. 206 events. And over this week, we will see 1,465 swimmers swim. A lot of them will be swimming a number of different events, but it's great to have that much talent this week. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the poolside your medalists for the women's multi-classification 200 meters freestyle. The medals will be presented by Ray Hedger, the ASA president. The silver medalist representing Kingston Hull, Natalie Moon. The gold medalist and multi-classification women's 200 meters freestyle champion representing Basildon and Phoenix, Danielle Hartin. Ladies and gentlemen, can you please put your hands together for the 2015 ASA Summer Championships medalists? And thank you to our presentation party. So just have a look up the scoreboard, and that is the official results from the previous event, the women's 14 to 16 years 400 freestyle team relay. Oh, someone's excited that their team's made the final tonight. So that is the summary of the event. The top 10 teams then for the women's 4x100 freestyle team. So we move on to event 111, the women's 17 years and over 400 freestyle team. We have just one heat in this event. Heat number 1.
And in this final heat this morning, swimming in lane 0, Seven Oaks. In lane 1, Hemel Hempstead. In lane 2, Hatfield. In 3, Poole. In 4, Beckingham. In 5, Wigan. 6, Plymouth Leander A-Team. 7, Team Mercia, and in 8, Staines. And it's pool swimmer Emily Clark turning first there, 28.64 her split time. But a very close race between 5 of these teams in between lane 3 and 8.
So we have in the water just 7 teams, and these teams will be fighting for the center lane in tonight's final. So remember, these teams are fighting to get a center lane for tonight's final, and they may be able to swap over some of their swimmers. They will definitely be able to change the order if they wish to. And a lot of these swimmers have already swum today, so they will need the support. I see some of you walking off the poolside, off the spectators gallery. If you can just stay for just a couple of more minutes and give these swimmers a bit of a cheer, we'd really appreciate that. I could also see some of you ignoring me. And you'll just keep walking on. That's it. You just wait by the barrier and give these teams a cheer, please. Madam? Sir? Well, it's good to see that you're all listening to us this week. I hope you have a lovely sandwich. Back to the pool then. Team Mercia, they are leading the way, 2:01.62, lane number 7. But they're certainly not having it their own way, Jenny, are they?
Absolutely not. Lanes 4 and 5, Beckenham and Wigan really pushing themselves as they come down this third leg. And it looks like these two teams and Team Mercia leading the way now as we come down the second length. And it's Ruby O'Brien of Team Mercia who's just pushing ahead, but really fighting for a place for a centre lane this evening in lane number 5, Rachel Byrne. Don't forget that Plymouth Leander over in lane number 6, very strong team also looking to come back in this final length. But it looks like it is lane number 5, Wigan, Rachel Byrne, who touches first, 3:03.7. But a good start there from lane number 7. The final swimmer for them, Ellen Stone for Team Mercia in 7, but really pushing hard, lane number 4, Beckenham's Fern Cook, really kicking hard as she comes down her first 50.
Absolutely, so that really has made a difference, hasn't it, that 100 metres. The team from Beckenham then leading the way, coached by the lovely, gorgeous Tony Beckley, yawning away on poolside. Glad to see that we're exciting you this morning, Tony. So your team then, Tony, they are coming in to take this heat. They will place themselves into that centre lane, but coming back very strongly is the team from Wigan. But put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, as our final swimmer for this morning touches home. And the team from Beckenham then, 4:04.29, followed closely by Wickham, 4:06.21. And Team Mercia, our early leaders, touch home in 4:06.23. So the results are now official and they can be seen on the scoreboard. So please do stay around because we do have to take our officials off poolside, and we do have 90+ workforce every day at this event. So it would be nice if you could just stay around and give them a little bit of support as they walk off poolside. They've worked very hard this morning, as have our swimmers. So that concludes this session's racing of the ASA National Summer Championships at Ponsforge International Sports Centre here in Sheffield. We do hope that you've enjoyed the sessions programme and we'd like to see you again for tonight's final. So remember, that starts at 5 p.m, warm-up starting at 3:30. Please do come along, show your support, make sure you have your coffee and your screaming voices ready. Now, ladies and gentlemen and guests, on behalf of the referees, we would like to thank the technical officials for their service and invite them to leave the poolside.